Mr. Inan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good.
You're looking
Thank you,
very
guys.
flashy in your suit.
Yes. There's a reason why I'm in this suit today. We have a guest today. A very good friend of ours.
I don't know him.
A childhood friend. We went to high school together. Formally introducing our friend Benjamin Pham. He currently works as a lawyer. Not a great one, but he's a decent lawyer.
How dare you?
If you want to search him up, he's actually got great TikTok videos. jbplaw. Check it out on TikTok. But coming out of Ann and Benjamin Law, we have our guest, Jason.
How are you, man?
Yeah, good, very good.
Thank you for coming. We do need some advice on the
Right,
basis
to
of
be honest, the
Inan
only
going to
reason
law.
you're
I mean, Inan going to court soon based on his suit.
That's hence why I'm in the suit today.
Yeah, very sharp.
He did a hit and run.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Ready to go to year 12 formal.
So how are you, man? It's been a long time, actually.
It has been a long time. How are you?
Yeah, good. How long's it been?
Too long that it's been very good not seeing you.
Not long enough, yeah. That's
So we'll just start off with the formality. So you are what? A criminal lawyer?
criminal
That's a great
lawyer, yeah.
description.
So what does a criminal lawyer like entail, and what do they do? Do you know, like the most stupidest question I'll probably everyone asks you is how close is your life to Harvey Specter's life in Suits? Like, is it the same?
Usually people ask me, how do I sleep at night?
No. On your back.
Everybody knows it's on your side, on the left-hand side. Come on, man.
Oh. No, so from a criminal law perspective, like what's entailed? What's like
Well, which question? The Harvey Specter question, or what do we do?
start from criminal law and then lead into Harvey Specter and Mike. None.
Yeah, well, basically you're defending people. That's it.
Do you have? Do you ever come to a point where it's like I can't defend you? Like, have you ever said that to someone?
Yeah,
like
that
someone
was
has come
one
up
of
and
my
said,
No,
questions.
I
Like,
haven't.
do you
I
ever
haven't.
choose, like, some guy walks up, you guys, look, this has happened, this is whatever documentation I have to say, these are the charges laid upon me. Do you go, all right, look, you're definitely 100% guilty, I'm not going to take this on, so you got to go see someone else.
So what a lot of people don't know is the majority of people in our criminal justice system, they plead guilty. So you're always faced with a decision when you're taken to court. You either plead guilty or you plead not guilty. Most people say they're guilty. So there is no really, no real moral dilemma
So
for
you
me.
don't get, like, guys who are 100% guilty, evidence is there, and they're like, nah, I'm sticking forward with not
There are
guilty.
some people like that, but it's not my job to judge them. It's the prosecutor's job and it's the judge's
One
job.
of my interesting questions, minorities, I'm talking different ethnicities, what are the worst to deal with? Be honest. Now,
I can't answer this.
I can make generalizations, but it's not. It's just down to the individual person.
So
Everybody has cultural differences, so it's not necessarily
Don't
your.
answer which one they are, but is there one you top of your head right now you're going,
I will,
and just
I will
as a hint,
answer
do
your
they
question.
look like me?
Sorry,
Do they look like me?
I'll answer your question.
swear to God, I
like
didn't
this. What's your question? Why do you ask me a
What's the
question
worst
and then
ethnicity
keep
to deal
talking
with
while you?
in regards to defending them in Australian law?
I'll tell you this. This is how I answer your question.
Okay, go.
There are cultural differences.
Okay.
Some people perceive strength to
Yeah.
be different to how other people perceive strength to be. So
Black
it's
hair,
really,
hairy
it's
beards.
really strange because say we're in a conference and you're telling me what's going on and you ask me 10,000 questions. I answer all of your questions and I give you all of the answers. For the rational person, you will know that I'm good because I've got all the answers. But for other cultures, and it might be less rational, you perceive it as a sign of weakness because you've dominated the conversation. You've told me what you want and I've given it to you, but really you've controlled me. So I don't seem strong to you. Whereas if you go into a conference with a different type of lawyer, you come in and you say, oh, what happens if this, what happens if this? And I say, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, you don't have to know anything. Your impression and your feeling is, all right, this guy's strong, he's going to take care of me.
So
But you have no idea if I know the answer.
So what he's trying to say is they're wogs, but he doesn't want to say it because we're here. That's all it is. He's like,
I'm not saying anything to that. I'm not saying anything
but
to
I can't confirm it on the podcast.
Just to get an idea, guys, fans, they look like me.
Yeah, dumb and wog. Do you enjoy Do we enjoy being a lawyer? Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, I do.
you do?
I think honestly, like you can't really survive if you don't enjoy it. You have to have a passion for it.
Even with the workload, like, 'cause you don't need to describe. I'm sure 90% of people who are listening, or like majority,
The
or like
millions.
Of our
generally,
million
the
fans.
millions.
90% of people are thinking, bro, you'd have to be. I know there's a lot of research that goes into planning for these outcomes or whatever, going to court and you know, obviously defending your client, but like is it as let's go. Is it as hectic as it real as it tends to look like on TV? You know, all
Define
these
hectic.
like for instance, a brief is, from what I understand, it's what you put down in terms of what question or what points are going to be given in the court, right? So you've got to be prepared for all outcomes. Is that right?
What's the question?
It's a good point. I have no idea. I was trying to sound smart.
So,
No.
so when it comes to coagulation and lawyers and stuff, you know, debrief.
Photosynthesis.
Basically, let me
Yeah,
simplify
is it right?
There's a lot of preparation that goes into
Yeah.
you know, certain things when you go to court. Obviously,
Yeah.
like in average, how much time would it take for one client?
You can't average that.
Okay, so defend
Every case is different.
term.
That's like one of the really exciting things about the job is that every day it's this.
Really?
It's always different. It's never the same.
Complete opposite.
There is always something different. Even if it's the same charge, similar offending, everybody has a different
Different
story.
anomalies.
Everything is different. So, yeah, you always run your case differently. Sometimes there will be similarities in how you run certain cases,
Yeah.
but there is always something different. No one case is the same.
How stuffed up is... maybe stuffed up is the wrong word. You know when... So, a case gets pushed back, or is it adjourned? Is that the right
adjourned,
word?
yeah.
Why does it take so long for the next date? Is that because of how clogged up the system is?
It depends on what's happening. There's a lot of different things that you might be asking for to adjourn the case. You could adjourn it for legal advice. You could adjourn it... Well, I mean, if you plead not guilty, you would have some time before you get your summary hearing or your trial, and that's because the system's very clogged up. There are so many other cases that are going for hearing. Every day there are only a certain amount of time that judges can hear matters, because it's still a job involving people. So if I'm a judge and I've got 6 hours in that day, that's only 6 hours that I can listen to a case. If there are only 20 judges and you've got 10,000 cases, it's got to get pushed back until everybody has availabilities. And then you've got the lawyers' availabilities, and then you've got the Crown's availabilities, or the police prosecutors. You have to kind of accommodate for everything that's happening. So right now there is a very, very big backlog of work that's supposed to be heard, but it's taking a very long time. COVID pushed that back as well. That did push it back. Yeah. But some things are being heard judge only as opposed to jury. So they're trying to speed things up, but there are a lot of difficulties.
How did that affect your work, if that makes sense?
It didn't affect me at all. Me personally, it didn't affect me at all, because we were still considered essential. I still went to jails. I still went to court. I had to do all of the things that I usually do.
So courts were still open like normal?
Courts were still open. It wasn't like normal. There were restrictions inside the courts. It actually is really interesting because it made it more convenient for me, because previously, so say for example, you have something called...
no traffic.
Well, that was amazing.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'd leave my house like 20 minutes before court, and I'd get there on time instead of 1 hour, 1.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But previously, you have say you have something procedural that you have to go to court for. Your actual time in court, speaking about the thing that you have to speak about, you might take 2 minutes. But because of the line, it will take you 2 hours. So 2 hours I have to stand there for something that's going to take me 2 minutes. They changed it because of COVID.
How frustrating is that?
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it would be.
But it is what it is. You have to do what you have to do. But after COVID, they said don't come to court unless you have to for certain matters.
Yeah.
For the procedural things, you just send an email, or you can appear via AVL, which is audio visual link. It's just like Skype. So you just appear, they see your face. You could be wearing a suit, maybe just undies. Everybody knows, working from home. But it did make things more convenient. It's really fascinating because sometimes it takes tragedies for good things to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, there's terrible things that happen, but it forces you to speed things up. Otherwise, everybody's resistant to change.
Yeah.
Unless you're forced to. And you say, okay, how do we fix the problem?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if you can answer this or not, but
I can't.
What's the longest a case has gone for you?
About a year and a half. About a year and a
right.
half. That was probably my most recent case, actually, because he ultimately pleaded not guilty and then went to trial. The trial was for 3 weeks and he was found not guilty.
Oh,
Okay.
cheering.
If you plead not
Yeah,
guilty and you go to
that's one
trial,
for us.
it takes a very long time. If you're pleading guilty, it's much shorter.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously, because you already know the outcome. Wow.
Well, it only has to be heard by a judge. The work that's involved is a lot less. The preparation is a lot less.
So how long have you been a full full lawyer? Like, how long have you been working in the industry?
I started working full time actually in uni. Full time work, full time uni. I've just been working for the past 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been, at the beginning of my career, it was probably about 80% criminal law. And as I progressed, it became about 95%. I still do some civil matters like suing building companies and suing people.
Yeah, I was about to
Pretty much
ask you, so
anything to do with suing people, I like. So anything to do with litigation.
Why is that, Bala? Why do you enjoy that more? That makes sense.
challenge, eh?
I guess there's a lot of reasons that I could say. It is challenging, but it's just like I like fighting. So
I guess. Fair enough.
I mean, you guys can see it in my personality. The things that I enjoy.
No,
it's
oh, I
just
see
like,
weakness.
that's out of your own perspective. What you see is your own mind.
So when it comes to that, you said that you enjoy that type of, the suing aspect, or that type of, the cases, I should say. Is it, do you find that regardless of how strong the case is against you, that you find it more entertaining to play the person?
What do you mean by play the person?
Like
in Suits.
Not like, yeah, sort of like I'm trying to relate it back to Suits here, because it's more along the line. I genuinely would like to know, like, when people talk about Suits, and it's like it's an amazing show and stuff, like actually how real is it? Like I understand they're probably not more, they're not criminal law, are they?
They're not criminal law, but a lot of the things you do see, I think at the beginning it was some litigation.
Yeah.
But it becomes like mergers and acquisitions and stuff later on. I'm not really that
Yeah.
well versed with Suits. Just some of the things earlier on. I stopped watching it after a while because it's just drama.
I watched one episode and I got over it.
Yeah.
But with what you've watched and what people relate it to, and every time people talk about lawyers, West Wing, and I don't know, I forgot the other one, what it was called. Do you find that you go, like, it is similar? Like
There are some similarities in terms of the drama, but I think that really depends on your own personality. You can romanticize things and see things in a certain way, but it is very stressful. But the way that they dramatize it, maybe it's not as realistic.
Have you ever come across someone where it's like, fuck, that's intimidating?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where someone's like, I don't know, whether it comes down to where they have more experience, or it's just their personality to begin with. You're just like, oh, like, fuck, well, this is a mountain to climb.
Not really.
No?
I think not really. In this job, you do have to be kind of fearless.
Because with that said, do you, I know lawyers, I don't know which courtroom it is, but do you wear the white wigs and the robes?
No, that's for barristers.
Oh my God.
That's
What's
for
the difference between
barristers.
a barrister and a lawyer?
So after you become lawyers are just a term for everything. So it's like, if I can use an analogy, and it's probably not too appropriate, but it's like close enough. If you say everybody's a doctor, but then you got a GP, you got a neurosurgeon, you have like a
specialize in some
yeah,
certain thing.
different specializations. That's like
Do you want to wear
not
the
really that accurate.
wig and robe?
No, not really. That's not really my
That looks so
objective.
annoying. Yeah.
What people don't know is a solicitor can essentially do anything that a barrister can do. It's probably the only thing that holds them back is their confidence, or whether or not it's a good idea to. And if I can elaborate, usually we'll be working in a team. So the solicitor will often handle the clients and get all of the things done that needs to be done. If they have a barrister on board as well, the barrister will be doing all of the advocacy. So they'll be with the one speaking in court. But it is a lot of work for any one person to do, depending on the case. In the local court, most of the matters, a criminal solicitor should be expected to do all of it. Not all the time. Sometimes you'll need assistance and you'll get a barrister on board. Just depends on the client, depends on you, depends on the case. But yeah, Does it answer your question?
That does, yes.
Is there anything? Because it's a really big topic. I can
Yeah, it
talk
is.
all day.
That's what I
about it,
mean.
but
Like, I mean,
ask me other questions. if you
fortunately for
like.
myself,
It's not that interesting.
I've never been in trouble with the law. Like, I mean, I've gone to court for fines. You know what I mean? And you know, I tried to represent myself like a dumb kind of way, and winning my fluoro shirt at work because it was like I was in Gosford at the time.
What was it for again? If you can talk about it.
Bro, the copper, it was a highway patrol fucking.
Oh, this was when you were on the.
scumbags.
This was when you were on that show.
No, that wasn't it. No. I was going down a hill. It was a 50 area, and I was going like 58, and he gave me the fine, and I was like, come on, man, like you couldn't find, like, mind you, I was in a truck, so like trucks, they're usually not, you can't speed in a truck unless you're going really, really fast on a highway. Other than that, it was a normal street in Gosford, and I was just like, man, surely I can get leniency on this. And I tried my luck, and it was like, guys, I wasn't going to go out of my way for a lawyer. I was just going to go see if I can, just plead ignorance and leniency, And I went, and the judge did tell me off. He was like, mate, he goes, you're on 1 point. That was when I was on the 1 point, the 1 point.
Good behavior license.
Yeah, good
oh
behavior
my
thing.
god.
Tried my luck. It didn't work out. In fact, if anything, he just got angry at me because he was like, bro, he goes, you're not meant to do anything. But it was like, it's not like I was doing anything. It's not like I was speeding, recklessly. It was like, dude, I was driving 58, going down a hill, a loaded truck. So it's like, you try to slow it down, like I was only thinking about maintenance on my truck, not trying to fuck the brakes up. I was going down with the gears and whatnot, but like obviously in the end of the day, he didn't give a fuck because, bro, I was waiting there for an hour in that room and it was just like all this scumbag, like you mentioned before, the AVL, the guys on the TV, just tats everywhere, tats on their faces, fat scums. And like all these criminal guys locked up in handcuffs coming in and just not talking. I was like, here I am, like these guys are probably fighting for their lives not to go to jail, and here I am trying to get off this one fucking fine. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Anyways, but other than that, that's the only experience I have. Coming back to a question, I mean, I don't know, like, I forgot. I had a question leading up to this, but fuck, I'm so upset.
You got too excited.
Yeah, I got excited about his 58-kilometer fucking drive. When it comes to say what's your aim? Does that make sense? When it's like you're a teacher, people go, okay, I want to be a professor, I want to do this. Like, where do you go from here? Like, as a lawyer, do you become
What's the end objective?
making your own
long-term objective?
Yeah.
Have you thought about it?
That's a secret.
What is it?
Really?
Yeah, you'll see that. I've started.
You're a politician, yeah.
I've started, but everything that you see,
Is an illusion.
You're gonna be a judge?
it's not far
You're a
enough.
full- you're gonna be a
Everybody
judge,
thinks that what I'm doing is for a certain reason. It's not the reason. I'm gonna say what it is, but you guys will see.
That makes
I'll
no
tell you when it
sense.
happens.
I'm doing things, but
Thanks
I
for
don't know
not
why.
answering.
It will make sense in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's when it will make sense.
Right,
You guys will see.
I'm
Unless
still
you get hit
alive.
by a bus.
It's. I'll say this. My objective is to help people, and it's to help more people in the best possible way, easiest possible way. You'll see. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Don't ask me questions on this podcast. When you you're supposed to ask me questions.
I wasn't here for this. No, that's fair. Look, as long as the way I see it, as long as you enjoy your job, and the way you said in 5 years' time, you aim to help people. I guess I look forward to that. To be honest, hopefully you do achieve that. Because when I see people, I have a soft heart for people who help people, and if you say that you're going to get to that point, you know what? Keep it a secret, and I hope you get to it, man. So, do you have
Thanks,
any more
man.
questions for this?
I appreciate that.
For this lawyer?
Do you have any weird laws where you were like, what the fuck? How was this determined? So I'm assuming that's a no. I'll go through one.
Do you know how many laws there are? Like every day there's a new law.
You should know them all.
No, if people didn't know, interesting fun fact, law related, it is an offence to possess 50 kilos of potatoes in Western Australia. Did you know that?
I don't know. I
And
don't know
on top
that.
of that, police,
Where did you get this?
if reason of
Wikipedia.
suspicion is there, they're allowed to search your vehicle if they think you've got 50 kilos of potatoes. I don't know how that
I
started.
did
It
not
must have
know
been-
that about the
Actually, you know what?
potatoes. That is weird.
That is very weird.
Yes,
Isn't
it's strange.
So,
What the hell?
because you're
Where'd you get that from?
from the internet.
Wikipedia?
it? Stay at base.com.
That sounds really reliable. I think that's one of the sources I used in
Who needs
in
lawyers?
uni. Yeah. I'm just joking.
See, well,
So,
that's-
because you're here on your own time and we can ask you anything that we want, free legal advice.
You have to pay me actually. Anyway,
So given the current circumstances of everything that's happening with whether it's COVID, whether it's terrorism or gangland stuff, when it comes to a police searching a vehicle,
Yeah.
what right do they actually have?
Oh, I mean,
Like say I'll give you a scenario because I understand that it comes to it's like every scenario is
Yeah.
different. I'm driving and I look like a typical wog in Greenacre. The cops pulls me over and I'm being a dickhead. They pull me out of they say get out of the vehicle. You get out.
no.
And I say hypothetically I got out voluntarily. Okay.
Okay.
And then they start going, well, we're going to need to search your vehicle.
Why?
For someone that they got no ID. And what should they say? Like, if they say no and they still do it, what would happen then?
You say no and you don't consent. You say, I don't consent. You ask them why, and I don't know what they do after that. They might say, we're searching, we think you've got drugs. If there is no basis for them to think that, you really have to kind of stay strong and say, I don't consent, but you cannot stop them. If you stop them, you'll be charged with assault or resist police.
You mean
yes, you cannot physically stop them. You can say it, you can use your words.
Ridiculous.
But you have to tell them that you don't consent. I mean, if they find, I don't know, a couple of grams of pot or a couple of grams of cocaine or something, it's very likely that the evidence will be excluded if you go to court. But if they find a dead body, you're not going to exclude that. It doesn't matter because you killed somebody.
Have a warrant.
What about if it's a high?
Nice guess. Very nice guess. I like it.
What about
very
if they, like
confident.
you said a couple
It's
of grams.
not true though.
Say there's 100 kilos of cocaine in the car, but
Yeah.
you didn't consent. Would that still be excluded, or is there
It
like
won't
a
be excluded.
limitation?
There's a limitation. They have to. There's a balancing exercise with a lot of different considerations that the magistrate or the judge has to have, and the evidence is too strong. It's too serious. The offence is too serious.
Okay.
So the reason why it can get excluded is because police need to know they can't just go around searching people for no reason. So it's kind of a public policy consideration. People need to feel safe when police come to pull them over for any reason. Police can't just go around willy-nilly doing anything. But of course, if it's a really, really serious offence, even though they've done something improper, if they couldn't get that evidence otherwise, then they should be able to use that evidence. It's too serious.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Cause whenever I see police, I get annoyed. Okay, and I get the urge
To punch them in the face.
no, to say something to them. What are my limitations in terms of me describing my distaste for them? How can I say something? How can I let them know that I don't like them without getting into trouble?
I don't
I
like
can't answer that.
Oh, come on, man.
I can't answer that.
All right, let me just say yes or no.
No.
Not off camera.
Because I've always wanted that.
Ask another question. Try again. Frame it in a different way.
He's saying to you that he can answer the question if you ask it a specific
Okay.
way.
Maybe.
How am I going to
It's a
say?
yes.
Okay. You know what a pig is, yeah? Say if I see
What's
a
that?
pig.
Wow.
That's the best I can come up with.
Really, really good. It's really...
All right, I go to the farm
Really
and I see a
original.
couple of pigs.
Yeah.
I don't like pigs. I want to say something to them.
This is the
What am
worst
I allowed
analogy.
to say without getting
This is
into
the worst
trouble?
analogy. I'm not even gonna entertain
Come
that.
on, bro.
All right, here. This is what I'll tell you.
I see a bunch of sheep.
The question is, this is the question.
Yeah.
Can they charge you with an offence?
Yes.
Are you allowed to give them your own opinion and to what extent? Just treat them as a normal person.
So if I scream,
When
hey,
you start-
police officer, I don't agree with how you do this.
That's fine.
Beautiful.
What's the issue? What are they going to do? Have you committed an offence?
So I can't go saying you're a fucking dog.
If you start swearing, you can be charged with using offensive language in
So
public.
as long as I don't swear, but even though I call them, I go,
You're allowed to have a conversation.
your mother is a whore and your dad was a dog. It's not to him though. So have I gone
It's
around?
in public. They can
Okay.
charge you for that. It's in public.
So what if he comes to my house and they walk in with a warrant and I start...
They've got a warrant to
These are
search your
such
house
good
because
answers. But anyways, yeah. So there's reality. There's not much I can say to a police officer.
That is absolutely not what I just said to you.
I mean, without getting
That is
into
the
trouble,
opposite.
of course.
In reality, there is a lot that you can say to a police officer. There's only a little that you can't
So
say
if
to
I
a
was to
police
describe
officer.
that they don't look attractive, like I'm like,
Like you're
You
trying
don't-
to find the fucking borderline of this.
I think you don't look good, man, and I walk off. I'm not gonna get in trouble.
You won't get in trouble. If you
Those
do,
boots on you look like they were made for women. You know what I mean? You know, you see, like,
you can't get charged for that. What are you going to get charged for?
okay, sweet.
They might say something back at you.
All right, here's another hypothetical, bro. You see these, like, bro. I've never been in these instances, but you see these guys getting arrested. You see these dickheads. You know, obviously they get the shits because the coppers and they can't handle it. They're stubborn. There's people around recording, and then they're like, the copper. Obviously, 90% of these instances or these these moments in time, they get the shits, and then like the copper goes, all right, you're being put under arrest, and then obviously things go haywire, and then they start resisting, and then like, you know, they start bashing him because he's resisting arrest. Now my question is, as a bystander, I want to try to help this guy that's being arrested by the police, regardless of what he's done or not, because I'm anti-police, straight up.
Yeah, yeah. Most people
What
are.
can I do
Many people are.
in my position to try to help this bloke out, besides record?
Record, that's it. Don't do anything else.
So I can't go get off him, or I can't go...
You can say that. They'll tell you to leave.
What if they arrest me?
For what?
Fuck, coppers, man.
For what?
Yeah, it's true. Bro, you know me, cuz, like, a few fucks, or you're a dog, bunch of dogs. You know? I don't know, bro. That's one of the questions that go through my mind. Other than that, not really. Cuz, like, I don't get in my... Like, I've got enough, responsibility in my mind to not do the shit that I say I do. To the police, of course, because other than that, like, obviously, I don't want to go to jail, or I don't want to end up with the law fucking around, because I know how fucking annoying it is. But other than that, it's just like...
Are you going to ask me a question soon or what? Is this the Inan show?
This is the podcast, bro. This is what we talk about.
I was joking.
Cuz, is there any corruption? Is there any corruption in law that you see day to day?
If he says yes, he's fucked.
What do you mean by...
No, from his own observation. You don't have to name names. Just say yes or no.
What do you mean by corruption?
Is there instances where you like, that's not right? From a judge, from a
George.
from a judge,
From a judge, sir.
from a judge, sir. From a judge, or like, I don't know, from
Let me try to rephrase your
police
question.
officers, or like certain police officers changing evidence, like being manipulating, you know, certain outcomes.
You do see people trying to change their evidence all the
Is
time.
this like defendants, like people who are trying to...
In Australia, the defendant doesn't have to say anything. They don't have to get in the witness box.
Okay.
If they're running something, they have a right not to go in the witness box. They have a right to silence.
Yeah, silence.
It can't be used against them. It can't be used against them. In our society, it's the police and the prosecutor's job to prove the charges against you. It's not your job to prove anything most of the time. There are certain exceptions. It gets a little bit more complicated. But in general, they have to prove everything. They have to prove it.
So have you had instances where you found something suspect to the point where you're like, maybe these certain organizations did something to validate their claim for a charge of that individual or whatever?
Like fabricating evidence. Do
Like,
I think that...
Have you
Have
been
there
like,
cases
oh,
where
that's a bit
police-
sus, you know, maybe they did something? Have you ever come onto that? Like, have you ever thought to yourself, has that ever been a thought where you're like, oh, there's a bit of foul play here?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And is it very common?
It's hard to say because it's like warfare, you see, and people have
Really?
their own tactics and things, and everybody has their own rules. Lawyers have their own rules. Police, prosecutors, policemen, judges. Everybody has their own rules. It's governed by statute, then governed by regulations and other policies. You have to abide by those, so they have to try and stick within those realms, and so do we.
Do you think that's a positive with like police enforcement? Like, because obviously I don't like police because they give me fines, and that's probably the only reason. But other than that, if I was in trouble, bro, I would be first thing I would do would call 000. And with that said, like sometimes, like I think the hate that comes out of it is, I understand that police need to deal with scumbags day in day, like all the junkies and whatnot, all the fucking, you know, domestic violence, all the people that they need to deal with. So obviously they've been trained to deal in a certain manner for these people, and obviously it's been taught upon them to do that, to do this with everyone. And sometimes it comes off as like gang culture almost, where it's like, you get where I'm getting at, where it's like, where, you know, like, instance, I see a police officer on the road when I'm driving, I'm panicked. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, am I driving right speed? Or like, I mean, not be driving like weird, you know, give them a reason to pull me over and just jack me for no reason. You know, that mentality. Whereas like, I don't know, it's just really hard for me to trust police enforcement sometimes with the stupid shit that they do. Like, I mean, I've been guilty of it too. Like, don't get me wrong, I was speeding no matter what. Like, it was a 50 zone, 58, but bro, come on, man. Like, I was doing my job. It's not like I was going around, you know, giving drugs to people. So, I've just lost myself. Fuck
I was
me,
about to ask you, where are you going with
yeah,
this?
where am I going with this? That's a good question. Fuck me, dude.
I had some answers along the way, and I was like,
Yeah,
nah,
no,
there's
what
going to be a
my
really
hard
good
question
question to
was,
summarize
these
this.
police
I'm
officers,
ready
like,
for this.
It's like, oh, fuck, man. I just go on a tangent. I start describing things, and it's just go. I lose the question originally, and then I'll go on to something else because I'm amazed at what I'm saying. Stupid me.
You
Anyways,
did good.
I did good. Yes.
When I'll
like
ask
you.
one that's just
You're a good
staying
guy.
there. What, in your opinion, is something that a lot of people do on a daily basis
Ooh, good question.
that
Great
they're
question.
doing wrong, like they shouldn't be doing? Like in every court, like is there something similar in every case that you see where it's like, fuck, this person did this again? Did that make sense?
Or like, what's an everyday thing people do
Yeah.
to commit laws, but they don't realize?
What's everyday what?
Like, what's something people commit on the day-to-day basis,
An
where it's an
offence?
actual law that you're
Yeah.
not allowed to do this?
Like
What is the most common offence that I see? Is
Or
that what
like,
you're asking
yeah,
me?
Like, or what's something you see me like that's actually illegal, but people do this. It's commonly known that people do this without knowing that it's actually illegal.
When you're talking about that, the most common is
Oh, well,
probably driving offences.
Yeah, obviously.
People always like, I didn't know, but I didn't know. Ignorance of the law is
Yeah.
not a defence.
Yeah.
But
I
the
learnt
other
that the
thing
hard
is, so I get asked this question a lot as well. It's just like, is it illegal to buy drugs? That's what people ask. So everyone knows it's illegal to sell drugs. Is it illegal if I am buying off somebody? It's illegal to possess it. You don't get charged with buying drugs. You get charged with
So I
possession
can
of the
go
drugs.
out into the street and be like, I'm buying drugs, buying drugs. Nothing. Is that right? But I didn't buy drugs. I just stated that I bought drugs.
Probably not. Yeah,
So
probably
nothing
not.
gonna happen to me. There we go, guys. You want to bypass the law?
If you want to bypass, go outside and tell everybody you
Scream
want to
out
buy
yelling,
drugs and don't buy
"I'm
any
buying
drugs.
I'm buying drugs because you can only get caught when you're possessing them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are more things to it, but we just leave it at that.
Fair enough. That's all.
You kind of misinterpret it a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's just comedic effect, guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Don't
start
be-
entering.
Please, I advise don't do this.
Start entering
Oh,
outside.
I forgot to put a disclaimer. None of this is legal advice.
Yeah,
Don't
if you
sue
take this legal advice, stupid.
We also
Straight
don't
up.
give financial advice as well. Part of our other videos regarding cryptocurrency, etc. I was gonna say. So outside of law, let's get more into the law. Let's explore into Jason's life here.
Oh, I'm really excited because, it's really crazy. People just think I'm a lawyer. That's it. Jason's a lawyer. Jason lawyer. I know I'm marking myself.
So this
as
is what
that,
I'm going to
but
ask you. So outside of
I'm a human being.
outside of law, like you finish your. What does Jason do after he clocks off for the day?
All right,
Like,
what happens is when I finish work, I go home.
I go home and I sleep and I go back to work.
and I do more work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do work a
So,
lot. I do work a lot.
But what do you do in your free time besides work? Like,
Oh
so
my
take out work. What's your day-to-day interest nowadays?
I don't actually make plans. What's my interest these days? Well, you guys know that I love UFC. I love MMA.
yes. Yeah, there's actually a fight happening in a couple of hours. Big fight, heavyweight division.
That's the only
main-
fight I
main
know.
card.
Is there
Yeah,
anything?
it's down here.
Are there
I
any
don't
other
know
fights?
cuts, no.
I know
This is
Stipe and Ngannou. Is there anyone
That's
else?
it.
Because
it.
Volkanovski got scrapped.
Oh yeah.
Who was he supposed to fight?
He was fighting
Holloway.
No, not Holloway. Brian Ortega.
Holloway.
He was fighting Ortega.
Oh, that would have been a good fight.
Because
Oh, yes, that would have been a good
got, coronavirus.
Who?
Coronavirus.
Shit is real.
Who got?
Volkanovski.
Swear.
No, so what happened is
Because Kamzat got coronavirus and
yeah.
he was like death.
Yeah, I know.
Poor guy.
Oh my god, Tyron Woodley is actually fighting too.
Yeah, he's
guys.
fighting someone. I forgot who it was.
What in bare knuckle FC?
Vicente Luque. Sean O'Malley's back. That one hit wonder. He'll.
Sean
he
O'Malley's
gave a
not
really
a
funny
one-hit
interview.
wonder, bro.
Because he is. He got bashed.
No,
Because
he
he got
didn't.
kicked and he cried like a girl.
Apparently, he got hit by this massive Ecuadorian big toe in his nerve.
Oh,
That's his
really?
interview. Yeah, that's what he said.
Pussy.
Didn't he? He done his ankle or
Yeah,
knee
he
or
did
something
something
like that,
stupid.
and then he couldn't
Weak.
move.
Weak.
It was his nerve. He said.
Weak. Hey, stop smoking weed.
Actually, you know
and
what?
Try to
I'll
fight
ask Jason. Jason knows MMA compared to no disregard to Emin here. So we have an inside joke going on for Inan here. Okay, about who he cannot bash in the UFC. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna ask him this question. All right. Do you reckon Inan would give a fair shot at Amanda Nunes?
Is this a joke?
I'm being a dead serious question here. I'm asking you.
Nah, because what? Look,
What's 145? She's 145, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's
145
just
and 135.
below
champion.
that.
What are you? What are
I'd
you?
be
in
a
town?
fucking
fucking
idiot.
Would you be
Besides a fucking
145?
idiot, I'm 145.
Would you be
I'd
145?
be a decent 145.
Man,
I
you
could
are
probably push 155.
really light.
Yeah, I am, cuz. Cuz I'm decent. Like, what's 145?
Man,
in
honestly,
kgs?
this is like no offense at all, but her power is like a man's power. She's an animal. I think she'd kill me.
Everyone's against me, bro. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right.
Yet to
Okay,
meet a friend
here.
who
I'll
comes
tell
in
you.
and
I'll
goes,
tell
"You
you.
know what? I've known Inan this
Wait,
long, cuz
I'll tell you.
Inan can pack a punch too.
I'll tell you
He'd
this.
fucking
All right,
take
I'll tell you
out.
this. I'll tell you what your advantage is, because she demonstrated her inability to play on the ground.
Thank you very much.
Do you remember that time?
Thank you very much.
Do you remember that time she's fighting this girl? They were both on the ground and nothing was happening. Do you guys remember? I
I
can't remember
think
the fight.
people don't
The
realize
fight before this.
the wrestling.
If you take her down, she's
training
dead.
I've actually had.
Yeah, I know. I know you're a wrestler. That's why. Do you remember that time that you took me down at Bondi and then I sat on your face? That was an accident though. You gave it to me. It was someone's
I
birthday.
do remember this. It was at night.
It was on the
wasn't
beach.
it?
Yeah, on the beach, and you went to take me down. And I ended
I
up.
think this was at Coogee.
Was it Kuchi?
May have been Coogee.
Whatever it
Anyways,
was.
Yeah, I do remember that. And
Anyway.
you humped my face.
It was,
on my head.
it was really good.
Yeah.
No, but the takedown was really good. I was really impressed. I was like, damn.
Because I've had wrestlers
I've
tell
seen-
me, like,
It wasn't- it wasn't
'cause you know
bad.
me, I fuck around with everyone. I wrestle with everyone.
I think that if you were to
I've had
fight Amanda
wrestlers-
Nunes, yeah, you should win. But if she hit you,
that's
do think-
my dog.
if you took it to the ground, you would win.
Nah,
if
look-
you were striking,
look,
I think she'll get
in
you
all
striking
honesty-
easily, with ease.
Because if I
She'll
didn't take her
dominate
down,
you and kill
because she
you.
looks strong. Not gonna lie.
She doesn't
Right.
look
I don't know
strong. She fucking is
Her
strong.
punches, it looks like how heavyweights punch. You know when heavyweights punch and you just like you fold on the ground, your
Yeah.
legs bend, you
'Cause
die. That's what she looks like when she punches. That's real shit. What woman have you seen in UFC actually do that with that
To be
kind of
honest, man,
power?
the closest person to her is
Is,
probably fucking Valentina.
Nah,
Valentina
what's the
Shevchenko.
one that got jacked by a thing? The one that looks like Wanderlei. What's the girl's name?
Cyborg.
Cyborg, yeah.
Yeah, and
And
then
she got demolished.
and Nunes
And look what
killed
happened,
her.
yeah.
But cause
It was
two-
like the
two-
power of testosterone.
But
It was,
yeah.
it was something else, man. This was
But to
her bones must be like 5 times bigger than everybody else's bones.
Lesbian power.
like in the end of the day, it's never gonna happen. So obviously, it is shits and gigs. But
It'd be a fun fight
But I
to
do
watch.
it
like-
was
I like
no.
the
Look,
competition.
It'd be a fun fight.
Look,
It'd be a good
I
fight.
am because I don't train. I eat right. Like I'm in decent.
This is me
condition.
guessing you're training.
If
That's
I-
me saying you're
Are we
training.
training? Yeah,
There's a
of course.
chance.
Fucking
Of
no,
course
'cause
you have
if
a
I was to
chance.
jump in the ring right now, she'd demolish me. Because I probably wouldn't last a round because I'd be wasting punches, wasting energy, and then I'm gonna take it down. What's she gonna do?
You got
I was
ring
going,
rust, you're not
I'm
match
tired,
fit, yeah.
I'm already tired. Even if I successfully get it down,
Yeah, yeah.
what am I gonna
So,
do?
okay, I'll ask you then.
Hold
I
on.
think I've asked you
I'm
before.
just
this,
making
but I'll
Inan
ask you
feel good,
again.
but I think that he would lose. Anyways,
So I'll ask you this, okay? How much training do you think you need to beat Amanda Nunes, like on a time scale? If I said to you, okay, Amanda Nunes is waiting for you to fight you, okay?
5 weeks. 5 weeks.
yeah, all right.
5 weeks, bro.
yeah.
5
Yeah,
weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah.
Jump on the test.
Oh yeah, USADA stops existing all of a sudden. Wait, if
One
you jump
real-
on the test, you think she's not jumping on the test?
I don't care.
She's gonna look like fucking Wanderlei Silva. by the time
No.
we fight
5
you.
weeks just to build up conditioning.
No test, mate. USADA rules.
No, fuck test.
Conditioning takes 5 weeks.
Because I'm still growing. Because I'm still growing. A 30-year-old
I'm
man,
a big
because I'm
boy.
getting bigger. I'm not getting fatter. Because like
You're getting taller. You still you haven't your
yeah,
growth spurt.
not as tall, but like because I'm getting a bit stocker. I'm gaining strength that I didn't think I was going to gain after
Yeah,
this
it's
age.
water retention. Yep.
No, not really.
Yeah, getting
not
old.
really. It's not.
Body's
I
shutting
swear to
down.
God, cuz. Anyways,
I'm just kidding. Well, no, we're supposed to be in our
I'm
prime
getting
now.
so defensive.
You're supposed to be in your prime.
Hey.
You're in your prime. Going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
35.
exactly. I am
You're
in my prime. Cause like so, besides obviously not eating full right and not being in terms of my fitness, that's my only downplay. Like if I can build that up, cause I can go 5 rounds, easy. Give me 5 weeks.
One, I know that you've
5
got
weeks.
good cardio. You got good cardio, but 5 weeks is a
Please,
very
no,
short time.
Not now.
I think that's a lot of ambition.
I was expecting maybe like a year minimum. Nah,
Yeah.
5 weeks, cuz solid 5 weeks. I don't have work. I don't have to look after my family. Guys, like 5 weeks, I'm on the concentration, cuz all I'm doing is analyzing fight videos.
I think I know what
day
has to
and
happen.
night.
I think I know what has to happen. You need to post this and call out a man.
No. I'm not gonna fuck that.
We'll do a YouTube
Cuz
fight.
I'm a father of
Bitch.
2 boys.
Father.
I don't need my sons watching in 15, 20 years going, my dad got bashed by a woman. You know what I mean? I don't need that shit in my life, cuz. In the end of the day, like, in all honesty, fuck, she's a decent fighter. Don't get me wrong. 'Cause she's bashed everyone.
Should kill me.
She'd probably kill me too.
Honestly.
I'm
like,
80% there, she'd kill me, but I'm relying on the 20% to go. I can probably, cause I don't know. Anyways,
I think if she lands a decent punch on you, you're finished.
You're saying you
I've known
need
f-
5 weeks to train
The faith I
to
have-
beat the
the faith that
greatest
my friends have in me.
woman
No.
UFC fighter of all time. You need 5 weeks. That's what you're saying. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Because I think
Everyone
I
she's
think
fought
you guys don't
has
have
died.
enough to back yourself. I think there's not enough confidence in the room.
No, what
to
I'm
back
trying,
yourself.
what
That's
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying.
go off
Cause
is the
she's
fact
human.
that she's
She's not a
versing
robot,
people
cuz.
who has 10 to 15 years experience, and they're lasting.
And they're all women, cuz.
and they're lasting around.
All women, might I add. Thank you very much. Not to get sexist, but they are all women.
Do you think that you could beat Ronda Rousey in a grappling match?
Oh, that's a different story.
Why is it a different story? Isn't
She's
she a
good-
woman?
She's a great grappler. Cuz all she's got to do is lock me up in an armbar.
Where did your logic come from? Amanda Nunes is a striker and you can beat her in striking.
No, not
But
striking.
you can't beat
Not
Ronda
striking.
Rousey.
Because
Rousey.
you laid out the fucking
Alright, okay,
the
fine,
thing
fine.
to the fight.
Alright, fair
Because you
enough,
think I'm
fair
going to go toe to toe with Amanda Nunes? My boxing sucks. Because
So your path to victory is wrestling.
I've got a decent, and that's being
decent.
very, very critical on an overhand. That's all it is. All she needs to figure out, she's got no fucking video on me anyways. All she's got to figure out in 2 minutes.
Oh, fucking help
this guy
her.
dips his head in. I'm just going to knee him while he drives in. So it's going to be me going, pah.
And she's never experienced a wrestler with an overhand right because that's the
Exactly.
most uncommon
At
type
the
of
end of the
fighter
day, cuz
in
she's
UFC.
fought women.
All wrestlers
Cyborg
don't have
left.
just an overhand right. All right. Such a
I'm like-
unique strategy.
Yeah, it is. Cuz. Go in there, jab, and then... Great.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of talking about...
It's really high level.
Trying to bash a woman, bro. Fuck that, man.
Alright, I'll spice it up.
No, enough,
I'll spice
Let's
it
move
up.
on. Moving on.
I'll
Moving
spice
on.
it up for you a bit. Do you think you could go boxing? No, actually, wrestling with Connor.
You can't go with Conor.
Connor is a good fighter.
No,
Connor
wrestling, but only wrestling.
He's a decent grappler because
No
he showed...
way.
Because he went decent with Khabib. Even though Khabib was trying to rough him up and stuff, in the end, he still got bashed, but...
to be honest with
No,
Khabib,
I don't think Connor... Because he'd only have to figure me out once to realise, all right, this guy's moving his head this way.
Honestly, he'd catch you.
Yeah, catch me easy.
Even if you wrestled, he's got jits.
Yeah,
He's
because like you can't.
he's an
undermine
animal.
him,
He looks like a gorilla.
You can't undermine him and go fuck. You know, oh bro, he's got no wrestling.
Hey,
'Cause
where's
he's got a
where's this
decent-
Inan coming from? I've never heard this talk about Conor McGregor in my life. You're always
But I would love to get it. 'Cause
shitting
if
on
there
him.
was an opportunity for me there, shout out to the MMA world. If you guys can get together and be like this shit cunt on Small Talk AU, you know, in the area wants to go Conor McGregor and he's all G's for it for charity. Let's go, bro. I'm 100% down, cuz.
Honestly,
But 'cause
that's,
it's never
that's
gonna
really
happen.
slack to your family, man. You
Not really. Because how many times? Because I've got video footage of me getting bashed by cunts. Or not
You're talking
bashed by,
about
like, our
Conor
grapple.
McGregor.
He's not great because he's not a great fighter. Because he's a
When
great
you compare-
entertainer.
when you
That's
compare
when people
him-
get mixed up.
When you compare him
People
to
get mixed
elite
up with that.
fighters, then you can say he's not a great fighter. When you're comparing him to the best, pound for pound.
He's not even up there in my opinion.
Yes, but can you fight him? That's
I can,
what you're
yes.
asking.
I can fight him, but whether I win or not is a different story.
He'd like
Thank you very much.
it'd
Do
be
you
like
think you can last a round?
you'd be unconscious.
Fucking oath.
Fucking oath
Fucking
it
oath.
is.
Fucking oath.
So you're better than who's you're better than Jose Aldo. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I can. In this day and age, because I've actually thought about it.
Wow.
But yeah, Jose Aldo.
It's
At his age now, not in his prime, when he was bashing Faber, when he was just leg kicking for days, and it was just like
and
Faber was just
because
like,
of
I'm
his
just gonna-
age, you can beat him now.
Yeah, I can bash him.
You could
Easy.
beat Jose Aldo.
100%. In my heart, I believe that.
You know, if we could bottle your confidence and sell it as a
'Cause,
product,
yeah,
we'd
straight
be
up, even like
trillionaires.
Billionaires.
Because like, I'm going through a midlife crisis. I'm telling you, like midlife crisis. Because I'm 30 years old with 2 kids, and like yesterday, you can tell Fatih, we went to the Parramatta game,
We didn't.
and because I was ready to go
Who are
out.
you?
Like I've quieted down my life. I don't go out as much as I used to. Because like, if like, I was ready to go out after what time did we finish the game? 9:30. I was like, this is a night to go out. The weather's perfect. This is a night to go out and have a bender. You know. But I didn't. I went home and I spent it with my kids. That's where the confidence comes from. I'm still not like I still haven't done everything I've wanted to in life to say that I'm good and I'm relaxing. The only thing holding me down is my family. Honestly.
What do you want to do? Like, if you said to me, I have a bucket list, okay, and you know,
Because I would love to get into the fight. Like I would love, like I
Is that
would
number one,
if
bro?
I did. Yeah, because Volley, it's still in my mind. When I see fighters walk out, I'm like, bro, what would I be feeling? Because I've gone to plenty of sparring days and whatnot when I used to train. Other than that, because like there was a period where the coach or the guy who ran the gym that I was training at, shout out to Bulldog Gym. He it was like I didn't keep pestering, but I was just like, bro, I want to fight. I go, bro, I really want this. And he's like, bro, you got to show me that you want it. So it's like, you can't just come out can't come 2-3 times a week and go, you know what, I'm going to fight in a month's time. You know what I mean?
5
And
weeks.
then because there was points where I was working 12-hour days, going to training all the classes, training with the fighters and everything. Because there was a period of my life where I was 100% fit. Like, there was a point where I was wearing jumpers, walking around like, bro, I know how to leg kick, you know? They taught me how to leg kick. I'll take on fat cunts. Like, I'll take on the big cunts. You know, we'd go to fight days because this was the confidence that we had. Me and him, and we used to train together. It'd be going together and be like, bro, you'd size them up. You go, oh, fuck that cunt up. You know what I mean? Now I look back, I'm going, the amount of confidence /
Idiocracy.
yeah, ignorance and the just plain stupidness or dumbness on my half to think that I can go toe to toe with these cunts. Because, yeah, maybe I'll get a few punches in and then they just destroy me. You know what I mean? Even now, like, because in traffic, I'll always be careful who I fucking mouth off to.
That's real confidence.
Nah, sometimes, like, my anger gets the better of me. Because it'll be like, my anger, my mouth would talk first.
Is
and
he
then it'll be
is he Asian or Polynesian?
But yeah, like sometimes I go overboard and I realise fucking I shouldn't have stepped it out. And then we get out and then with dumb cunts, we're just standing in traffic going, we fucking It's always a question and it's like, all right, this is not going anywhere. So I just get back in the car and drive off. Because it's like, then the responsibility comes in. It's like, you don't want to go to jail. You don't want to get charged. Someone could just be driving past.
You don't want to call Jason.
Oh, look, these flops punching on. You know, Channel 7
Yeah.
News. Oh, 2 Sydney men caught punching on over blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And yeah. But yeah, other than family. Because like one thing I would love to do is get into the fight game.
Yeah.
Just get into it. Not for like make myself like a Conor McGregor because
You just want to experience it.
I
and
want to
feel
experience it. Whether I get knocked out, whether I knock people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you organise a fight with your friends?
Yeah, because I'm all the time. Because on my Bucks night, you were there. Were you not? Because we were in the hotel with all the boys.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were there. In Melbourne, remember? We went to the
Oh, is
UFC
this when
together.
we went to watch the
we
fight?
take her, yeah.
Every time he pronounces his
We
name like
take
that, I
her.
can't get over it.
We take
We
her.
take her.
Anyways, yeah. You remember, cuz I'd go up to Charla, who's one of the biggest boys in the group, and I just mouth off.
Man, Charlie is strong.
He is fucking strong, cuz.
He's so strong.
Cuz like I feel like, oh yeah, I'll grab one leg and I'll get him down. Nah, it's just grabs you, schluck.
You know,
headlock.
I used to think I was like objectively pretty strong. This is when I was like benching dumbbell press 50s on each side. And that was the max at the gym at the time. I was like, I'm a fucking animal.
Yeah. Confidence, cuz.
Like my arms were pretty big too. I went to go arm wrestle Charla, and he's like, "Nah, bro, nah, it's not
Charla's
worth it."
naturally very strong.
I went to go arm wrestle. He hadn't trained in ages.
No.
We were arm wrestling. He was laughing in my face. My face was a tomato. It was about to explode. My eyes went bloodshot, and I'm just like, "I'm gonna kill this."
Yeah.
And he's just standing. He's just like, "Are you serious?
Are
Are you joking?" He looks at me, and goes, "That's cute, bro." And I was just like, I can't. I don't ever want to come near you.
Because every time
I'm
I see
scared
him,
of you.
it's like I'll try to G it up, or the boys always G it up, and it's like, all right, now I've put my money where my mouth is. I've got to stand up, and I know I'm gonna get bashed, but I still try to do something. I always get a leg up, but I could just never get him down.
Charlie is so strong.
He is so strong.
You know who's strong? Imran's strong.
Nah, I made him tap.
Did you?
I made him tap.
Yeah, but is this
With
like
full
legit?
BJJ training.
Legit?
Yep.
Legit?
Yep.
But when?
Yep.
When was this?
What did I do? I think I put him in a guillotine, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you go for a
I may be
takedown?
wrong, Imran. If you,
Oh, I
Imran,
remember
watch it.
this.
Shout
I
out
remember
to
this.
Imran.
Ages ago, I remember this.
This was at my place.
Imran's gonna definitely
He,
comment on this.
yeah, cuz I'm more than happy for a rematch.
I think he would kill
I
you.
think I just took him down straight away.
Oh,
I think with now Imran will probably
Nah.
take you.
So you took him down.
Imran's
I
pretty
took
fit.
him down, and
Oh,
if I'm not
right.
Imran's
mistaken,
very
I
fit.
grabbed his neck. And it was a stupid thing. Like he'll probably, I can't remember what it was. He did tap, but it was a shit go by me.
I remember.
I
this
can't
story.
remember what I did, but I did something.
It was a very controversial.
yeah, it
decision,
was very
I remember.
controversial. I did
Punched
something.
him in the face.
No, I think I might have I don't know what I did. I did something.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about you. You can't remember anything. I'll tell you my story. So Imran had just started jids, and at this time, I was still like relatively match fit. I wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And he just started. We had a grapple at my house, and we're wrestling, grappling. I was just like, yes, sweet. I was on top. Out of nowhere, this fucking guy with his giant arms, his arm comes under, and
Yeah.
I was in a really good
He's
position.
perfect for jits.
He comes all the way down, reaches around, grabs my foot. I'm thinking, is that your arm? Where the fuck did your arm come from? He starts laughing. He's dying. I couldn't believe it. And this guy's got this like crazy strength, but his arms are like
Yeah, 'cause he's
little
very
chopsticks.
Yeah, for
Like
a
it looks
lanky
like,
bloke.
he looks like a
That's
really
tall, bro.
skinny little skeleton,
He's
weak.
just got that advantage.
No, he's strong, man. Ever since then, I'm scared of tall people.
I'll still do it.
He's got length on him.
Just
As
kidding,
when
I'm
it comes
scared
to
of nothing.
Australia, bro,
I
I'll do
fear
it again.
nothing.
This is recorded. Imran, when you come to Australia, I want a rematch. I'll do it again.
Yeah,
No training.
yeah.
5 weeks.
Nah. On the spot, I'm going to be like, hey,
Well,
Imran,
no, no,
cuz, how are you, bro? Like this. All right, let's go.
But do you think? All right. How about?
Nice form, really good.
Would you give? I don't know.
I still got it.
Would you?
You
would
didn't even
give
need
your
5
man
weeks.
notice for a proper fight?
Far. Yeah. Proper
Yeah.
fight.
Proper fight.
His
Proper-
notice is a sucker
Like
punch
we're
to the
full
back of
gonna
the
hit
head.
each other.
Like proper fight, like as in like Iman's there, right? Full UFC, MMA rules, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it.
yeah.
We'll hire a ring somewhere.
Nah,
and
just
then
go to the park.
I would
hire a ring
to the
somewhere.
park.
So
Yeah,
when you
fight on the grass.
fucking doing 360s on the floor, no
Nah,
one's
nah,
hurting
nah.
each other.
I would love to bet on that.
We'll do an undercard, Jason versus Charles.
Imran, this is a challenge to
No,
you,
I'm
bro,
busy
when you
that
come to
day.
Australia. I know he's currently in England, our friend Imran Alpala. Shout out to him. But yeah, I'll do it. Fucking because I'm always up for a scrap because I like to fuck around.
But fuck around's different when you're getting punched in the face.
That's fucking around for me, bro.
Okay, no, I'm just saying. I'm just.
No,
trying-
no, I'll be more than happy.
I'm
Because
getting my
I've
inner Dana White
I've
on.
always wanted to go to the ring with the boys and just spar.
We used to have that ability slightly when it came to politics, but not anymore.
Yeah, I know. We just became older. Now my stress is not trying to injure myself so I don't work.
So MMA is your. Do you have one, Jason?
What?
What you really want to do in life, as in nothing career related. Like there's something on Jason's bucket list where it's
I'll
like, man,
probably
there's
still
something
do
I want to just
Going to
do,
local
like
comp.
whereas skydiving or like that
Yeah.
type of shit. Is there anything up there that you say, you know what, I really want to do this in life?
I've only ever had like one thing that I actually thought in terms of doing something. I mean, I got 2 answers to that, but I'll give you the more easy answer. It's I always wanted to busk somewhere.
Yeah, me too. Like we'll see. We got a thing going on. We just bought some equipment, some video recording.
What kind of
equipment.
busking? What would you do?
Not busking, but more like street talk. You know how people go up there with a camera and just ask like people in the,
Oh, right.
in the
Yeah,
community questions.
I'm a dumb cunt. What the fuck is busking?
You know, ding, and they
Okay.
throw money.
People
Okay.
are like
So what, you wanna
performing,
actually play
performing on the
music?
street.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I want
pretty
to
cool.
sing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty good singer. I've been to
One
karaoke
day.
with you. Not
So
bad.
what?
Too kind.
Why not do it?
I'm too busy right now.
Yes.
I did think about it. You guys know actually I hit up Mark Tugamala
All right.
Oh yeah,
one
Yeah.
day, yeah, because did you guys ever hear his voice in high school?
yeah.
This
Used to
guy,
sing just randomly.
Yeah.
I couldn't every time he sung, I just like froze. I couldn't move because he sung some Boys to Men songs. Like, hey, do you
Oh,
know
yeah.
this song? He's like, oh yeah, that one. He starts singing it.
Oh yeah.
He starts singing. I was just like, this is exactly the same. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I hit him up. I said, teach me how to sing. He's like, yeah, no worries, come. And then we just never ended up doing it.
Sweet.
How long ago was this?
This might have been either last year or the year before.
Ah, it's pretty-
Just randomly started
That's
talking to each other. Yeah, I always liked Mark. Good
Did you
guy.
see anyone from school
Anyone from school?
on the constant? I think we're the only people. Every time I see people at school, oh, bro.
I see
who do
Kevin.
you see?
You guys weren't close with Kevin, were you? Kevin Liu?
Not as much, no.
No.
I see him.
But yeah,
Because
I
we're the
see
same people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like us.
It's like we're from a specific part of China, very small
Okay.
area.
Okay.
There's not heaps of people from there, so
Yeah.
pretty much when you meet each other, you're just like, all right, same people.
Yeah, same as Turkey, bro.
Yeah.
If you're from the same part of Turkey, bro, that's it. You're automatically.
You're like best
got-
friends forever.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
The irony is, like, as you get older, it's more, you have more probably chances to retire where you live and you're still going to be next to each other. Does that make sense? Like, if you were to move back to Turkey and say, I want to live the rest of my life out there,
Yeah,
you're most of the chances that your mates are coming with you because
Yeah,
they're going to be in the
yeah.
same fucking spot.
yeah.
That's mad. Oh, you haven't been to Turkey yet? Fuck, you're still...
No, I haven't been.
You dogged the last
I haven't
time.
been like anywhere. Yeah, thanks.
I was practicing law. Would you still go?
Yeah, I'd like to still travel one day, but I mean, I was planning to travel last year. I renewed my passport
Spill.
in February, and I
Sounds
was ready
peak
to
COVID
go.
too, bro.
And then it hit, and I said, you know what, this is my destiny. I have to work, so got no excuse.
That's what I'm doing,
Just got to
cuz.
work hard.
Saving. There's nothing to do.
Like people complain, oh, can't do this, can't do that. So well, now I have a different choice to make. The landscape of my life has changed.
adapt,
I have
yeah.
to make a decision, and this is the decision. Work hard.
Where did you want to go at the time?
I didn't know. I just wanted to go.
You just want to go?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was just ready to go.
Another question. This is COVID related, to be honest. What are your thoughts on what's happening with COVID? I mean, do you have any theories as to what you think is going on? I mean, or like what you think happened? Because technically, they still don't know how this came. They say it started in China, in Wuhan. They say it started.
He's saying, do you have any cousins that know this answer, bro?
No, like genuinely, I want to know I want to know what you think. Like, is this some fucking conspiracy that the elites of the world have conspired together and made this? So, because the way I look at it is, bro, the world was duped by a fucking flu strain, in my eyes, and this is genuinely what I think. But I say that with all, like, I don't have evidence saying 100% this was it, but from what I understand, from what I know, I think there's just too much, like, it's just too suspect to say that this is genuinely what happened. Some guy ate a bat and then fucked the world. You know what I mean? Or there was a testing facility for biomedicine or whatever it is, bioscience in Wuhan, and they accidentally let the fucking virus out and the world got fucked because of it. Because, bro, look at it. This strain, it started from what I understood when I was watching it. Because in fact, I even called you during that peak period in March when I lost my contract. My missus was heavily pregnant, just about to give birth with my second son. Or I've just become unemployed. I have no idea what I was doing. I was freaking out. I'm thinking the world's about to end. This is when all the fucking markets were getting shopped down. There was nothing available to buy.
Okay, I got an answer for you.
Yes.
The answer is, it is less important to me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because
now I've moved on and I'm going, all right, it doesn't affect me. I've just got to adapt to whatever's going on
it's
around
not,
me.
It's not just whether it affects you or not. It's you have to continue to live.
That's
what
right.
power do you have to change certain things?
Yeah.
Even
It's not about
if it
changing.
is a conspiracy,
Yeah.
what is the practicality?
Do you think
of
there's a
that?
higher agenda there?
What's the reason? Like, how far can you actually get into it and actually know the answer?
That's
The
true.
question that you should be asking is, what do I do with my life now? With that information, does that change your life?
That's true.
If you keep putting energy to it, if you keep thinking about it, does that change your life? And the answer
But-
is yes, because you're not thinking about other things that you could be thinking about. You're not living in the moment. You're not thinking about your kids. You're not thinking about how to further your career. You're not thinking about further investments. You're not thinking about any of these things because you're thinking about what could the Illuminati have been doing, or why America is doing this X, Y, Z. Yeah, but just as an example.
Yeah.
So for me, it's what opportunity might arise from this. And everybody should know that in crises, there is a lot of opportunity. Everything goes down.
Of course, yes.
When everything goes down, the smart people,
That's right. Yeah.
if they can
They
think
buy up
clearly
everything.
and they're not jumping into their emotion, they'll see opportunity.
Thank you for telling me what to do, but I asked for your input.
That is my input. My input is I don't think too much about it because it's not helpful to me.
Fair enough.
In terms of
you
conspiracy
for asking
theories,
this.
I used to have conspiracy theories.
And what
I
are
used
they?
to,
That's what
I
I
used to
wanna know.
non-stop thinking about them. I used to research the shit out of it when I was like 19, 20. And then one
We
day,
had some very fun conversations at Imran's house
yeah,
back in the days.
I'll tell you what happened. You're always going to get to this point in the rabbit hole where you see some shit about reptilian humanoids.
Yeah.
And when I got there, that's when I was just like,
I need to
what am I
start.
doing with my
Don't
life?
get me wrong. I'm not.
What
sitting
am I
here
doing here?
Oh, bro, I'm stressing out at home. Like, fuck, the elite.
No,
fucking
I
stuff."
know.
You know
But what
I
I'm
mean?
saying is, when you get to that point where you see the reptilian humanoids, and I was just like, okay, this is actually a really big waste of my time. There is so many other things that I could be doing, and that's when I get to the point where I'm just like, why do I have to go down this path? Because it gets really exciting, and you can spend 3 or
It
4
does,
hours
yeah.
every
Yeah, it
night
does.
watching YouTube videos. Oh yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. You're just like, okay, so what?
Because I'm not saying I'm right in what I'm saying, but these are what I've put together. This is the information I've gathered, and this is my assumption.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I think. I'm not even going to go as far to say this is what I think is happening. I just feel like this is like from what I've been presented, what I've found out, what is on the table for me to understand. I just feel like there's just some kind of agenda. I don't know who the people are. I don't know whether it's a certain group. I don't know, man. I mean, it has affected the world. I mean, we can't deny that.
Has it?
Well,
I thought it was just us.
but yeah, I don't know. Do you think 9/11 was a planned job by the American government?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I didn't say. Sorry, I didn't catch the last part. I spoke too early. I think it was a plan. It was planned. Definitely.
Was
planned.
9/11?
It was definitely
Yes.
planned.
I don't know about because the government is very big. You see,
Yeah.
People throw these
Yeah.
terms around
Yes, I
like
agree.
government and the system,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and these generalizations are very very unhelpful,
They are.
and it makes you really target a lot of individuals who are just people doing their job.
Yep.
if there is an agenda, if there is a conspiracy, most people don't know about it. People
But-
part of the system, they don't know about it. Cops don't know about a lot of
Yeah.
things that are happening at the higher end.
That's
They
true.
just get told what to do and they do their job. Somebody goes and signs up to be a cop, someone signs up to be a lawyer, whatever it is, you're just doing your job. Oh, you're part of the system. Yeah, but I'm as much a part of the system as you.
As
What
you
do you
are,
know?
yeah,
Nothing.
exactly.
Same as me. I'm getting paid my
I
salary.
know
I'm getting paid my
something.
wage. Yeah.
Nah, I get what you mean. Are you happy with your answer? You finally got
Yeah,
something
I did.
to
I did.
say.
Yeah, because I asked this question last time and they just looked at me blank. So
No, you couldn't ask
Yeah,
the
no,
question like.
no,
Fuck, it took
so
you 5 minutes to ask
I
it.
wanted to ask the question, but I just drifted on because I didn't think the person understood what I was saying. So I had to explain myself and where I was at, and they still didn't understand after I explained. So it was like, it was a bit of frustration there, but I'm glad you
Yeah.
understand what I mean.
No, I understand you.
I've got a
very
bit of a
well.
controversial question. Actually, it might fall in the criminal law. Actually, I actually don't know.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, in this day and age, obviously, you got the whole. I'm trying to not get banned on YouTube by asking this question. This whole gender identity per se thing that's come out. You know what I mean? Where there's multiple genders for multiple different people and how they feel, etc., etc. Do you find that it can start to reach a point in your field where people start to use that as escape clauses? Does that make sense? Like, as in, say someone from a criminal perspective is getting sued, or you know that they shouldn't have done something, like say a male entering a female and then doing something in there, and then they get stuff and they go, "Oh, I identify as a female," or etc. etc. Like, do you think that people can use that types of excuses to
As a
get out
defense, yeah.
of cases? Do you know what I mean? Like, has that? I don't know. Again, I don't know
Because I mean, they're banning books and movies. Like they're taking content off because it's offending people. So
like,
it's
I know
like-
this. Again, I do understand that this is a very sensitive topic. So
Can you ask the question again in a different way? I'm trying to figure out exactly what the question is. Like, narrow it down.
So can I try? Would it be in
Well, Fatih's words not good
Yeah.
enough for you.
I understood what he meant.
All right.
I know what he's trying to say as well. So I'm trying to think about how to rephrase this in a way that it would make sense from a case. It's like, say you have man number one, okay, and he goes and he's getting sued for doing something that
Doing
probably that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Say,
Give me a story and I'll assess it.
do you reckon you can get sued for entering a premise that only a certain gender, say a female only beach or a female only facility, and say exposing yourself?
That's a great question. So you walk into a woman's change room and you go, I entered. So the individual that goes into the woman's change room goes, I identify myself as a woman and I think I should go into this room.
And
And he starts taking his clothes off.
Ooh.
Interesting, huh?
I've never come across that.
But okay, but see, what the question is, with today's weak-minded people and how offensive they get so quickly, do you think in the future this will actually be present in future maybe court proceedings, or like do you think maybe there will be because now I think it's 6-year-old children, they're if I'm not mistaken, they're allowed to, you're meant to have the schools or the Department of Education have asked their parents to talk to them about identifying them as what gender they want to be. A 6-year-old child.
I don't know, but see, the thing is,
You know
it's
what I
always
mean?
a trigger when people say, if I'm not mistaken, but and I can see it from your face. You didn't even know where you got this from, do you?
No.
Where
I
did you
heard
get
it
it
on
from?
the radio.
Alright,
It was one of the news.
You see, I don't know if that's
headlines.
here. I don't know if it's Sweden. I don't know where it is.
No, it was Australia.
It was Australia.
Yeah, so it was primary schools.
Was it just one primary school? Was it a few? Was it?
No, see, that's
something?
where I may be mistaken because I can't remember exactly.
Usually these scenarios are one.
But I think
Yeah.
it may have been a private school, and they spoke to parents saying, you need to speak with your children and what they identify as
Yeah.
themselves.
What do I think of that? Or
I mean, like,
What's your
surely
question?
that's going to end up in the court of law sooner or later.
we're just gonna have to see what happens, man. Because look, my job really is in the judiciary. I'm in the judicial system. I'm not part of the executive. I'm not part
The
of
NRL judiciary.
Parliament. That's right. That's right. I'm part of the NRL judiciary, not the NRL executive or Parliament. The three
Judiciary,
NRL
that's the only
checks
time
on
I hear
power.
honestly it. Yeah.
Huh?
No, that's the only time I see judiciary because I'm very, very, very fucking. I don't know. When it comes to law, I try to stay away from that shit, man. They can't tell me what to do.
Do you say hypothetically, like referring back to what we were talking about in the original, not the primary school one, which is say a man entered a facility, exposed himself, and it fell into your department. Let's just say hypothetically, okay. Does that argument hold? What you see is not what I am. Does that make sense?
I haven't come across it, so it's hard for me to answer, but it's not a question of morality. Our legal system is not strictly a question of morality. It's whether or not you satisfy the elements of an offense. If you do, you're guilty. If you have a defense, it might be a complete defense, it might be a partial defense, it might be something which is non-exculpatory, which means that it doesn't make you innocent, but it greatly reduces your objective criminality and your moral culpability. So it might help people feel sorry for you, but you might still be guilty because you satisfy the elements of the offense.
Okay.
So say, for example, I'll change the scenario up. Let's say it's not a bathhouse. Let's say it's a library and you walk in and you do that. Even if you identify as a man, a woman, a transgender, whatever else that you might identify with, you're not supposed to be exposing yourself anywhere. So you're guilty regardless. Obviously, that's a very different scenario, but the elements of the offense need to be satisfied. If the offense says you cannot go in any place, you can't go in a library and take off your pants, and you do it, and your excuse is whatever your excuse is, it doesn't matter. You're guilty. But people might feel sorry for you for whatever reason. And you might not be crushed by the penalties of the law.
Such a very formal answer.
It is such a formal answer.
I like when you speak to me, Jason.
From my understanding of how laws start, they go through both houses of parliament, right? They get sorted and then it comes out. Is that true?
What do you mean?
From my understanding of, I think it's acts.
Isn't that for a bill to be passed? It's got to go for House of Reps and then
Also,
Senate.
Wait, I had this question. Oh my god.
Are you talking about how a law gets passed?
Yes. So no,
So
that's not my question. No, that's not my question. If you had a choice in bringing out a law or an act, I mean, have you ever thought about it? I mean, is there something where you were like, man, they need to fix this up?
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Like a certain law that you can tell us, or an act, or certain legislation.
Not off the top of my head.
No.
Not off the top of my
Also,
head.
there's a few.
I said not off the top of my head. Where'd you get a few?
No, but so if you're not on top of my head, there must be a few that you thought about in the
I
past.
might have thought about it
Yeah.
in the past, but I can't think of it right now.
Are they really outrageous? Like, are they really stupid? Like, whether you question you.
It's
like
not
that?
really stupid. It's just contrary to principles of justice. It's contrary to my legal knowledge, and I don't think that it's fair, and I don't think that it's right.
Has another.
So, for example, there are a few different kind of organizations in the government which are like the police, but not the police, like the Crimes Commission.
Okay.
They have a lot of power, and their power kind of goes beyond that of police. They can do essentially whatever they like, and the accountability for them is very, very little. There is not a lot of people that are actually
there'd be a bit of
overseeing.
corruption there.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you wouldn't really know, and it's not technically corruption if they're legally allowed to do it. Why is that corruption?
No, the only reason I say that is because you just mentioned before they're not accountable for certain things. I mean, if they have more power than the police, then who's policing them? Does that make sense?
Well, what is your definition of corruption? Doing something contrary to law, something that's illegal.
Yeah.
Because
or
if
helping
if
certain members,
if the law
with
says that you can
influence.
do it, if the law says that you can do it, then you can.
So they just got. An
That's the
advantage over
difficulty.
us.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
difficulty. Of course, there's always the other side of the coin, which is there are some very, very sophisticated criminals that can get away with anything. And sometimes you need more power in order to find them. What if there's like some really highly organized secret serial killer? I don't know, I'm just throwing out a scenario. And no one can do it because they are restricted by the bounds of the law. They can't investigate certain things. Sometimes you need that. You know, the only thing that comes to my mind right now is like a Batman situation. But there are reasons for them to exist, reasons that are not just conspiracy related and, the government's trying to fuck you. Like there are reasons for them to kind of protect your freedoms as well, but in so doing, sometimes they completely take away your freedom, which is ironic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this one, but have you ever come across a scenario where you've been told not to pursue a case?
What do you mean?
As in, other players are currently in play for you that if you were to say shake the tree, that you'd cause a lot more problems for certain people that are higher up.
You mean in like criminal syndicates or something?
Yeah.
Can't answer that.
Okay. That's what I wanted to ask. So it's a yes.
The reason I can't answer that is, so I'm sure you guys know from one of my older videos, like client professional privilege.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's why I said
You can't talk about things that you.
Right, that brings me to another question. Nicola Gobbo, the Lawyer X.
Lawyer
I'm
X,
sure
sorry.
people have watched.
I really
the
don't know much about it. I
Underbelly
just know a
series.
little bit about it.
Cause well, from my understanding, she pretty much snitched her clients
Bad,
to the
very
police.
bad, very bad.
Which goes to show like.
Was this the one that they did a TV show about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's still in.
I just got to
hiding.
preface this. I don't actually watch any TV, so
I'm not basing on that. From what I've seen in the news and what's coming.
yeah, I don't
out,
watch the news.
Like,
But tell me, I know a little bit,
but
a tiny bit.
I mean that's obviously not so common, yeah.
No, it's what she did is terrible. What she did is terrible.
Yeah. And has there been any other instances like that other than her?
I don't know honestly. But when I heard about it, I was just like, this is really.
Well, so
really,
like, what
really
can you
bad.
do? I mean, you've just like obviously I don't know if there's if it's an act where obviously the lawyer and client privilege. I mean, or is that what it is?
She breached so many different
Yeah.
things, so many different laws, so many.
So like I'm
obligations
assuming
that she
all
had,
the
she's
lawyers in
breached
the
them.
industry would have been like, what a dog, like that's
I think
the worst. That's
I
probably
think
the
they
worst
should
thing
have.
you
I
could
can
do.
only speak for myself,
Yeah.
but what she did undermines the entire
Yeah,
system.
That's right.
So if the system is undermined, you have to understand as well that the system is all made up. Everything is made up by people.
Yeah.
And everything can be fickle. Everything can crash. It has happened to many, many regimes over the past 2,000-3,000 years forever.
Mm-hmm.
If it crashes, what's going to happen?
But
What's
so
going to
that-
happen to everybody in
yeah.
their fancy suits and nice cars
That's
and nice
right.
houses?
Yeah.
People are going to get taken over. Terrible things can happen. If people lose faith in the system, they no longer
They start
believe these
anarchy,
things that they've
guys.
made up. That's the fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the fear.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why. I
If
bring
you've
up
got
that's-
defense lawyers behaving like prosecutors, then what is it? It's a police state. Where's your freedom?
That's right.
If I judge you, if everybody judges you, everybody just does whatever they want, you have no freedom.
So let me ask you this: do you think the system of law that we have in Australia is an effective system?
No system is perfect. No system is perfect, and you will always have a complaint. But
So
I'll say
do-
this. In our country, you have a right to complain. You're not going to get thrown into jail,
Yeah.
and you won't get silenced because you've spoken. One of the downsides is everybody has an opinion. Even if their opinion is less educated, less informed, their opinion is equal to everybody else's.
No, it's not.
Do you
Or
think it would have been easy
when
if
it
there was
comes to
just one
voting,
dictator?
100%, yeah.
Sorry, say again.
It just would have been easy if there was one dictator and he just made the law and said, "Yep, that's it."
In
That's
some
the
ways, it
point."
is easier, and
It is,
I've
yeah,
learned
that's
this
what
when
I
I've
mean.
gone
Like,
to
it's not the best.
when I've
let's
gone
just
to
be honest.
countries which have a monarch. When I've gone to countries which are, because I've been to China, I've been to other countries as well. When I go to these countries, what you see is they get things done like this. It's very, very quick.
Yeah.
Because they have no choice.
I think that's a negative in Australia.
But also, they can do long-term planning. If they see that in 20 years their economy is going to have an issue because whatever resource is going to run out, they can focus the next 5 or 10 years building foundations to build something else. They can do that. We can't do that here. Every 4 years, somebody's coming in to piss all over the cage, as Izzy would say. They're going to do that. They need to change everything that their predecessors did. And not even that, it's not even 4 years. Because how many times in the past 10, 15 years has somebody taken over their own party leader?
Yeah.
So what do you
Well,
really
that
have?
happened like 4 or 5 times with Labor.
5 prime ministers in the last
How much
7
planning
years.
do you actually have as the leader of a country? And what this really comes down to is, how strong can your leadership really be if you don't really have control?
Control, that's correct.
And the other side is, if you have too much control, what happens to everybody
Exactly,
else?
yeah. I think that's where Australia is.
There are pros and cons.
Disadvantage,
Yeah, there are pros
obviously,
and
because as a
cons.
positive, we as people, like as a decent, like a normal civilian, I've got so many options.
Yeah.
in terms of what I can do. Where you mentioned before, if I lived in China,
There are a lot of
I'm
pros
very
and cons
limited
here.
in my options in terms of what I'm going to do. You know, like for instance, if I was in China, you said you are Chinese. I want to sue someone. Is it as easy as here?
I have no idea. I'm only
Okay.
a lawyer in Australia.
Fair enough then.
I actually don't know,
No, fair enough.
but I doubt that it would be easy.
I don't think you're allowed in China.
Because one question, obviously with the innovation of technology, everything's getting different. You know, we've got, bro, like 15 years ago, we didn't have cameras on the phones. Do you think our current law system is quick in adapting to that innovation of technology, you know, getting better and better? Or do you think it's just still stuck in the same system there was?
What do you mean by our law system is quick?
Is it adapting well? Like, I mean, are they
to
changing?
To what challenges?
Because one thing I find in today's world with many countries is that many people don't realize how fast we're changing technologically.
People
Like,
do realize, but
But-
like I said before, it has to go through a lot of different people
Yeah.
before something can happen. Technology changes way too quickly. It's moving
Yes.
very, very quickly. You can get, by the time you get something passed to address certain issues, it might be a year, it
Yeah.
might be 6 months, I don't know. But within that time, like, I mean, TikTok just blew out of nowhere. All
Yeah.
of these different apps blow out of nowhere. All of these different issues arise. And you have to wait for these things to actually happen.
Yeah.
Bad things to actually happen for you to say, okay, we need to implement these laws to protect us from X, Y, Z. You have to see actual scenarios. You can hypothesize and guess, but that might be completely wrong. You don't know where things are going to go. So I think most systems in most countries would be slow. Even if it is a communist or dictatorship, it would be slow. How do you adjust? Because you're trying to address the entire population of the whole world, and you have to think of all of the different other countries and what they're developing as well. How do you kind of get on the front foot? It's hard.
It is.
So I think it has to be slow. It cannot be quick. It can't move fast enough.
Yeah, yeah.
It also falls down to the education of the person that's currently running the country at the time. Because like I have a major hate towards towards the way this country handled the whole NBN thing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was Malcolm Turnbull, who was communication minister at the time, who decided that the speed that was minimum that was best for our country is now completely almost outdated.
Yeah.
So at the time, you had someone who's in charge of said building of the whole network saying that this is enough when pretty much the entire country said no, it's not. But you had to go forward with it because he's the guy that's putting it forward, unfortunately.
They're all difficult decisions to make. It's all. I don't really hate too many people because I know that it's a hard decision to make when you're faced with all that power.
I
there's
hate
always-
him.
Yeah, I understand that hate.
Like it's like for me again, going off. I think and we had this conversation with another one of our guests, which he was an engineer, about Australia not planning.
Who?
To I don't think
Who's an engineer?
knows him.
Who?
Ahmed Khaleh.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think so.
Kadu.
It was one. No. Khaled an engineer. It was a question more along the lines of why Australia doesn't plan for the future compared to what other countries do. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's like you think about say like I don't know if China's the same, but I think one of the biggest countries that always plans for the future is the United Arab Emirates. Do you know what I mean? Like when they're already planning 2030 vision, 2040 vision, what their plan is post oil and all
It's
that.
like what I
type of
said
stuff.
before. They can plan
Yeah.
because they will stay in power.
Yeah.
They know they will. We can't plan. We don't know who's going to stay in power.
But surely we can come to a point in Australia where it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter who's in power, but we know
There's an objective.
X technology. I get the objective, which is, okay, say hypothetically we were moving towards more solar. We're going to upset every fucking rich person that's involved in electricity and coal and nuclear and all that type of shit. And then the big players get in, it's going to affect my my bottom line on my balance sheet, therefore you can't push it forward. And I get all that. But we can still, like, you don't see it happening at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I think is the sad part about this country. It's like the airport's the best example. It's like we're trying to build an airport for 60 years, and we still can't make a decision on how to run our highway from that airport to the Hume Highway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the simplest of fucking shit here that we're
Yeah.
talking about. Like, I'm not talking about 30-30 vision, or it's like 30 years from now or 50 years from now. I'm talking about fucking 1 to 2 years from now. We can't build a fucking road.
Mm.
I'm just ranting about Australia. Do you think China's going to be the superpower of the world? It's a genuine question, because the way that it looks like
It
is
does. They are.
it's
It's just a matter of time.
it's the perfect opportunity, because America's in disarray. Russia's playing their own agenda. That leaves China.
I don't know if I am well versed enough to make comments on
My own
politics.
country.
It's a podcast. Give us your
This
opinion.
is my
You don't have
country.
to be
I'm Australian.
100% correct.
I'm Australian.
I am too.
It
So,
is-
so as an
No, no,
Australian,
I'm
do
an
you
Australian
think that
Turk.
China is going to be the superpower of the world?
I think it would be difficult to say otherwise,
Yeah.
because everything that they're doing
Such a
is
fucking
right.
lawyer answer.
Well, I'll elaborate.
Yeah.
Their warfare is, as much as I know, which is not a lot, it's all economic.
Economic, yeah.
And
it's the best.
it's inclusive, not exclusive.
Yeah.
They include other countries, and yeah, they pretty much feed them. They build them up. Those are the allies. And from what I understand, it's a lot of people that weren't, countries that weren't accepted by maybe Western civilization. So, I mean, they're very, very intelligent. They got rich. They got rich, and then they're using their wealth. They're investing in different things.
No
It's
countries, yeah.
correct. Everything that they're doing very, very well.
Do you see them potentially overtaking USA next 10 years?
It's hard to say. I really don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it. Not right now, anyway. Not enough to make a comment.
He's hiding it from us. He's trying to take over the country.
You're asleep, aren't you? Sleep still.
That's
He's like,
racist.
We're all waiting for the. We're all waiting for that text message
Jason's
to
gonna
come out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Going off topic, how long does it take to style your hair every morning?
Because
Because you are a very, very handsome individual. Honestly.
too
tell us.
kind, bro.
Shut up.
Honestly,
Stop it.
yeah, thanks.
Does it take you longer to get dressed and actually do work?
What?
Yeah, you know, I mean, if
No, it's-
people have
well,
watched TikTok videos, they've seen, yeah. you are in very
Usually
nice-
I wake up 4 a.m. and then I'm ready by about
No, so you're like a David
9:45.
Goggins.
No,
Can't
just
try to
kidding.
implement that system.
No, I'm just
Like, I want
joking.
to take the photo, pull it, and go. Yeah.
No, I can't do it. What, Jocko?
Nah, you know David
Mhm.
Goggins.
I think he got it from Jocko, but
yeah,
don't
Jocko
they
does it
hate
too,
each
yeah.
other?
Sorry, yes, Jocko does it as well. They both.
He's got all of his Instagram. When I first looked at it, I was like,
4:30.
"What the fuck am I looking at all these stopwatches?"
Nah, but it's a
Anyways,
great reminder, bro. That's
to
what
answer
I
your
started
question, I blow dry my hair. I got to dry it in the morning. That takes about
with.
7-8 minutes, and then because it takes a
Yeah.
long time for my hair to get dry. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I know.
And then how do you know? Were you
Because I
there?
got same thick hair too, dickhead.
All right.
No
Whoa,
fucking-
whoa.
Fuck, how do I know? How do I know?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that we have exactly the same hairstyle, but okay.
No, we don't have the
alright.
exact same, but your hair is thick
Okay,
as mine, so I
yeah.
know how long it takes to fucking dry my
Alright,
hair, yeah?
alright, yeah,
Don't fucking
okay.
ask stupid questions.
Yeah.
Please. Your objection. Objection.
Anyway,
Overruled.
shut up, shut the fuck up. Anyways, so
Got my lawyer on.
yeah, so really good man. You should be a lawyer. And to wax my hair, it takes about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really not long.
Yeah.
I don't know what people want. Just get thicker hair. Just
So
be
I'll-
if you want to have hair like
Just
mine,
get
just be born as me. No, I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
long. This is a funny thing, right? So when I was growing up, like 13 to maybe 15, it was really cool. And you guys remember like Asian gangsters? They had like the split hair.
Oh,
Real,
yeah.
nice, luscious. He was gangster, and they like dye the fringes. I tried to do that. I couldn't do it. I didn't dye it, but I tried to like split it. After I came out of the shower, it was sweet, and it just frizz up. I've had an almost afro in the past. That's
So
how
yeah,
thick
your
my
hair
hair was.
grows out, yeah? So like I've grown mullets.
When I grow this, it curls out this way, and I tried to grow a mullet. It grew out
Yeah,
this
see,
way.
I'm
It
in the
curled.
process of growing mullet at the moment. I've just shaved
really-
my own hair. I've just shaved a bit there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's noticeable.
Really
but
impressive. Yeah, I really enjoy that.
I'm growing a mullet. Yeah, my
Are you
missus
really?
hates it. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna shave your hair.
There's
if you
there's
go
good reason for her to
Honestly.
hate it. Yeah,
Yeah, I know, definitely. But you know what? It's happening, cuz.
yeah, combination.
Bro, like that's what I mean.
Are you gonna
like,
run a step?
That's
something?
what I mean, cuz. That's what I mean. Like I'm this
I love that
30-year-old
show,
man
though.
with 2 kids, and I'm still trying to live out my little bullshit teenage, like little what do you call it?
Yeah, you want to be gangster? I know.
Nah, not gangster. Cuz what's gangster about a mullet?
I'll represent you.
Bogans and junkies wear it.
Oh, right. So
But I reckon I'll make it look
when
good,
Wogs and
cuz.
Middle Eastern people have mullets, it's not gangster. All right.
Certain mullets that they have, like the curly guys, the curly lebos.
I remember
that
a
have
couple of the
sheep
boys.
hair, like they have a mullet that just goes out.
I remember a couple of the boys from Arthur Phillip. Their mullets were like
Gangster,
really
yeah,
cool.
'cause I used to get told, which was a shit thing. I never used to get told by women, but it was always guys that I hanged around with. Oh, cuz you got a hectic mullet, bro. It was never women. It was just the boys. Oh, cuz I wish I had your hair. And it was like other boys going, nah, cuz I wish I had your hair. Just the biggest puffiness.
Nah, that's all right.
But
Hey, sometimes you need that. Men don't encourage each other.
Like
enough.
one thing I used to get from a lot
Not
of
enough
barbers
support.
was, oh mate, you got nice hair. He goes, oh, you know, like bro, I used to get from gangster guy, an Italian mafia bloke, Vince in Auburn. Do you remember Vince's? I don't know where he's at now, but he used to be, bro. He's like, they used to talk him up. Oh, he's with the mafia, this and that, and I'm like, but he's a barber. How is he with the mafia?
Yeah, going back to what I was saying before, you completely overtook the conversation.
I do that.
Yeah, so when I was younger,
Sorry.
I wanted to have the
My
split hair. Still talking. When I wanted to have the split hair, I hated my hair. I was just like, I hate it. Why do I have this like anomaly of a haircut? And then when I started getting a bit older, I found the style that I liked.
Yeah.
Everyone's just always complimenting my hair. I was just like, man,
Yeah.
it didn't used to be cool. Now it's cool. I'm just like, all right, thank you. Yeah.
You sure you didn't want to go back to Vince and his barber?
Yeah, Vince, he was very, very critical of my hair.
What did he say?
He just.
What is this
constant
thing that's
compliment.
attached to your hair?
No,
Yuck.
he just said he's got good hair. His hair is nice and thick. Because like, bro, I'm 30-year-old. I don't look like I'm friggin' thinning out or anything, bro. I feel like I'm gonna be. Give me a couple more years. The whites are starting to come out. I'm gonna be a hectic silver fox, bro.
Okay.
So I can't wait for that. My
Oh,
wife is very
okay.
lucky,
I'm
very
really
fortunate
excited,
in
yeah.
that. Because I'm just getting
She's
better. I'm
blessed.
aging like a
That's
fine
right,
wine.
yeah.
I really am. Because
Yeah.
when I look at my teenage years, nothing. Bro, I
Yeah.
was this little.
Yeah, that's what I thought
butt-teeth
too.
Friggin', little shit.
Yeah.
Now, bro, I think my missus.
I'm
is
surprised
very
you're not
happy.
in a modeling
No,
contract,
I'm not a
actually.
model, but I'm aging nicely.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
I don't know, man. That suit.
Yeah, I'm looking good in the suit.
Looking
too.
Yeah.
like a stud,
I
man.
can't keep looking to the side. We have the monitor over there. We can see ourselves. I'm actually pretty happy. But if you want to see the whole thing, this is. This is what I go to entertain you people. I have to iron this bloody shirt. I don't wear suits often, so it was heavy. I thought Jason was gonna dress up too, but
Yeah, but he didn't tell me.
He didn't
Nobody
think highly
told
of
me.
our podcast, and he came
Yeah.
in his polo.
In fact, I'm always in a suit, so you're so special that this is
be
the
honest,
first
yeah,
time
yeah.
people
Cause
see me
that's
not
right.
in a
I'm
suit.
always wearing shorts or thing. Cause I'm
can't-
typical boy from the
I did
area.
this for you.
I can't remember the last time
Why
seeing
for me?
Jason in the trackies.
Yeah, cause, oh no,
Are you
you still
joking?
Look good, cause
I
you
always
look
wear
smart,
trackies.
casual.
No, I've
It's
never.
still good.
I can't remember the last time I saw him.
It's still nice.
You haven't seen me in trackies.
No,
Oh, I
can't
don't
remember
post
the
it.
last
That's
time I
why.
saw you in trackies.
Most of it.
That was when I was with you at uni.
Like I feel like if you went to the convenience store, it'd be in a suit.
You know, it's crazy. So many people don't recognize me when I'm not in a suit, and I'm
No
just like,
way.
this is like a Clark Kent thing. You know how he just checking his sunnies and
Just no
checking his
superpower.
glasses, takes it off, and then yeah, got a lot
Is that more your preference, or is it because of the work you're involved
It's
in?
just work. Most of the time, I have to be in a suit. So yeah.
Like, so you can't like. Is there an actual rule there where you have to be
It's
in
a
suit to
profession.
check?
It's a profession.
So
I could rock up to court in a suit. Yeah, I'd probably in a
like,
tracksuit pants or
rocking up to
something.
court is different, but when you need to go see a client to discuss with them whatever you need to discuss, I mean, it wouldn't be a problem for you to arrive in what you're wearing now.
It wouldn't be a problem. But how much confidence are you going to have in your lawyer
That's exactly true.
who looks like a
You're
normal
not.
human?
Dad used to say it, bro, to me. This is what my dad used to tell me. If you look like shit, people are going to treat you like shit. And at the time, I was just like, yeah, all right, bro.
Well, there are other parts to it as well because, like I said before, about different cultures and people's perceptions, which might be,
What are those cultures that you're
be
referring
wrong. Well, if you want to know,
to? Just sound out their foods.
then you're gonna have to
say
just
their foods. Kebabs, manouche.
Water.
what people
Mixed plates.
think is how you do anything is how you do everything. See how I completely ignored you?
Fair enough. Nice.
So if you see me, my shoes are scuffed, my tie is undone, my shirt is out. What are you gonna
He's a
think?
$2 lawyer.
Because I don't take pride in what I do, because I don't notice the nuances, the details. I don't notice anything. If this is how I treat myself, how am I going to treat you?
You know what's actually a great question? I remember.
I think I'll find out soon. Yeah.
No, you will find out. My father used
Maybe
to
if you don't
discuss-
lose
My
yourself.
father would always complain about lawyer fees and how expensive they were.
Yeah.
Now, is it awkward for you to discuss a payment for clients? Is this something awkward for you?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I know
Only you can know what you mean.
I mean, you know your value, but I'm sure you deal with this on the common,
Zero.
especially with my kind of people. I'm sure they'll have
My
the shits.
kind.
My kind, meaning Woggy, Beard, Lebo, Turk.
What's the question?
Is it annoying dealing with customers in terms of payment?
No.
Fuck you.
No, it's not annoying to me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ask me, I tell you the fee, I tell you how much I think it's going to cost. Either you pay it or you
Is there
don't.
ever a backlash?
You want to find a different lawyer or you
Is
don't?
there
People
they
negotiate
ever try to
sometimes.
negotiate, yeah?
Yeah, of course. But if you can't afford it, you will go to legal aid a lot of the times.
Is legal aid really effective? Like for me,
Yeah,
I
there's
wanna
some very
save a
good
few
lawyers at
pennies.
legal aid, of
Yeah.
course. There are, but what you have to remember as well is there is only a set number of them. If a lot of the times, if you're not actually looking at jail time, they'll just tell you to represent yourself. A lot of the
And
times.
they tell you what to do or say, yeah.
They'll give you a little bit of advice, but they're really chock-a-block. They are
Okay, yeah.
under-resourced, and there's a lot of cases that they have to deal with. So
Yeah.
how much advice can they really give you?
Yeah,
5
true.
minutes, 10 minutes?
Have you gone up against someone who's actually represented themselves?
It's not usually that way because it's always against the cops.
Okay.
Always against the cops. Like in civil matters, yeah. In disputes, yeah. But I'm not too aggressive if I don't have to be because I know that they're unrepresented. Of course, I try to get the best result for my client, but I'm not just going to come out and start saying, "Yeah, I'm going to bankrupt you."
What's relations like with police and lawyers?
It depends on your personality.
Yeah, do you like?
It all
dealing
depends
with
on your
them?
personality. It's okay. It's part of the job. You have to deal with it. A lot of people as well also think that you want your lawyer to be this really aggressive guy that's just gonna come out guns blazing and just like pop, pop,
Of
pop,
course,
pop.
yeah.
But
Like,
then,
that's what, in my mind. If I was to think that going to court, I want him to fight for me like he was trying to save my life.
yeah, sure, and you probably wouldn't.
No,
Well,
no, like,
what
I'm
you
not,
see,
I'm not trying to. I'm not exaggerating. I genuinely think
if
like,
he comes
obviously-
out and he's yelling and he's really aggressive, then he's fighting for you because of your perception and your understanding of what
Yeah.
fighting for
that's,
you
yeah,
is.
that's a great
That's
point.
what it is.
Yeah.
But what you forget is that although it is like a war, the best wars that are won are the ones that aren't fought.
You're reading some Sun Tzu, huh?
Well, you know that. It's a very, very common principle.
'Cause I'm a
If I
te-
can persuade you without engaging in battle, then I've won. That's better than me fighting and defeating you.
you heard it here first.
Why do I
guys.
dominate you if I don't have to? Sometimes you have to. You have to change up your
That's a great-
tactics.
Excellent.
But if I can charm you into doing it, my objective is the result. My objective is not to impress you, my client. I'm not trying to make you think that I'm a warrior. And I might get the result, and it might be wrong. You might get the worst result, but I'll come back and say, you saw I gave him my best. And you say, yeah, I did see it. Yeah, you fought really hard for me, but I didn't get you the result. Maybe if I played it a different way, I would have got it. Now, you might tell me, I want you to fight. I want you to fight. My job's not to do what you want. It's to
I
try and
wouldn't be
get you the
telling my
best
lawyer
possible
what to do,
result.
to be honest.
Whoa, you think that?
No. But
You
see,
think
in
that?
my mind, see, because I don't have much experience in terms of dealing with law.
What you're saying
goodness.
is what a lot of people are thinking.
Yeah, but bro, that's my wog mentality. That's my typical Turkish background. Going, bro, I want him to go and punch on with the
That's
the
right.
judge. You know
So
what
if
I mean?
you come in and what you interpret as weakness is actually charm and it's
Exactly.
actually
beg to
building a
differ,
tunnel
but
to come
anyways,
out,
yeah.
of course you beg to differ. Of course you beg to differ.
yeah,
That's the reason why we're having this conversation.
I know.
If I can charm
Well,
them
that's
into giving
standard,
something, you might actually even think I did nothing.
Yeah,
That's what you might think because you don't understand the details that are involved. Every word that a lawyer says, it really should be very well thought out and calculated. Every word has a meaning.
okay.
A lot of people always misinterpret what I say because they don't actually understand that it might be just one word. It's made the sentence completely different. And they try to fight me on it. So sometimes people say, what was it? I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, I am objectively better than somebody else. But I didn't believe that I was better.
Well, he said that to you.
No, I said that about
Okay.
myself. It means that from an outsider looking in, I
Yeah.
would see why they would think there are reasons for me to be better. But
Okay.
me personally, I think that we're the same. And I don't think that that objective reasoning would be really accurate. When I say objectively, of course, it's not really objectively. It's just what I understand of what most other people would think. Is it getting too confusing for you now?
No. Which brings me to another question, to be honest. You said you had 8 years now. You're going strong. Is there still things that you're learning on the way? Or is it like now it's become day to day as a lawyer? Like certain processes or like...
You're always learning. It is an art.
Yeah.
It's an art.
So you're
It's not a
still,
science. You're always learning
Like
something.
still sharpening.
You have to. So
Yeah.
this job is not like other jobs. It's not like...
Like you can't say
try
it
to
was just
think.
an average day being a lawyer today. There's no such thing.
It's not arithmetic.
Yeah.
It's an art. You're always learning new things about yourself. You're learning new things about other people. Your understanding of the world is always changing, or it should be.
Yeah.
Or how can you adapt? How can you get
Exactly,
new arguments? How can you
Great
persuade people? You're working in an environment which is essentially chaos,
Okay.
and you have to make a structure out of it, and other people have to believe you.
Any up and coming lawyers? Great advice. Is there anything you can give for any up and comers? Or what's one piece of advice
I think I've already made this video.
you have? And that's what brings it. I think the answer, I can't remember what the answer was, but maybe give us something else. Truly, if someone's listening saying, I like to look at this bloke, I think he's answered all the questions Inan's presented, which were stupid questions, or most of them anyways. What's one piece that you say they could keep with them for their lifelong, you know?
What I can advise, and I'm going to be adopting some of the advice that was given to us by my advocacy teacher. He was a former Supreme Court justice. He's sadly passed away now, but he was like a real giant of law. His name's Brian Sully, the Honourable Brian Sully,
RIP.
former Supreme Court judge. Yeah, he's a really, really good guy. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, his advice to us was, one of his pieces of advice anyway, was read a lot and read very wide.
What do you mean by wide?
Read everything.
Okay.
Do not read just the law. The law is the law, but humans, conditioning, everything about the universe, everything about the world, the more you know, the bigger your knowledge gets, the more understanding you have, the better your arguments will get, the more perspective that you have. It's the more that you can talk, the more that you can think. If you read only about the law, what do you know? What do I know? If I was born in the North Shore and all I did was go straight to uni after high school and then I become a lawyer straight away, what do I know about the suffering of somebody in Mount Druitt?
Yeah.
What do I know about kids in Cabramatta? What do I know about heroin users, drug dealers, people that just lose their shit and bash someone, road rage? I understand you, Inan. I understand your road rage.
Yeah, because we grew up together.
We grew up together.
Yeah, that's where you understand.
It's life experience, but it's also broad experience.
Yeah, of course.
It's wide.
That's actually an
I
excellent
haven't
point.
experienced just
So
in a vacuum.
The woggier my lawyer looks, the more understanding he's gonna.
You have to make that judgment for yourself. It's really difficult
No.
in choosing a lawyer.
But that's a great point. I mean, so now I avoid the Aussie-looking lawyers because they don't understand me.
No, of course there are some people that
No, it's just a joke.
they will have really broad
Yeah, of
experience.
course.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you travel, if you're very well traveled at a younger age, you will understand even more about society as well. Because poverty, suffering, starvation, I mean, rapists even, like you can understand a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A lot of different things. It's not to say that people shouldn't get punished, but you can understand.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, if I die, if I can make people understand each other a little bit better, I'll be happy to die.
Very, very humbling, that one. I guess that's a great point. I think from what I'm understanding here, your 5-year objective, I think you're gonna set up something, right? If I'm close to the wall,
That is
then
like
you're
the
gonna help others.
vaguest
come up,
shit. That's the exact. I already said.
yeah? Is it really?
You said that.
I'm gonna set something up and gonna make people understand.
No.
Basically
no,
just-
what I'm looking at, I'm
So
trying.
I know you said you wanted to help others, but I think in the future you want to help others.
What I'm getting from this is what you said to me. Is it? Am I right in saying that? Nods head.
Again, there was there's some very. I feel like what Jason has said has made me want to have sex with him.
That's such a touchy subject, but it happens, and people do things. People sometimes forget everybody that you're judging. They're all people. They're your neighbors. People get formed in environments. This environment is a lot of the time created by your neighbors as well. It's all society. We're all together in this. And it's like, throw the book at him, send him to jail, send him to death. Mate, that could happen to your cousin, could happen to your brother, could happen to your parents.
Bro, if my cousin copped rape allegations, I would be like, all right, maybe I got to stand back a bit, you know, because obviously, look, being a person...
Would you? If he said he didn't do it and somebody else said he did, what you going to do? You're not going to believe him. And everybody in society is going to say he's a fucking rapist.
Cause I'll probably be on the same boat, but like, my cousin's a rapist. You know
Why would you be there? If he told you
based
this,
on whatever.
how do you know?
It's the allegation. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Look, it's a touchy subject, but like, obviously my ignorance would go, fuck, you just had the allegation put on you. Like,
So you must be guilty.
Bro, like, my mind is going to be floating towards that way.
Yes,
Surely,
of course.
Like, I'm not going to lie and say, cause, but then again, he's related to me, he's my cousin, so it's like, it'd be hard to be, I wouldn't go up to him and be like, you're a fucking rapist, man. Like, don't touch me, don't talk to me.
But you'd think
delete
it.
my number.
But you'd think it. And this is
Of
why
course,
I say
yes.
that it's so important to have understanding, because you just have to wait. When you
Right,
hear
yeah,
two
now-
sides of the story, now you're more calm.
Yes.
Now all of your instinctive prejudices are on hold. You're like, you know what? He's actually just told me something that makes sense.
Yeah.
But she's also said this. This also makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you
People
see
have
it
to make
now.
this decision.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And then people say, oh, this judge is too weak, the jury's too weak, the system's fucked. Well, what do you know?
Yeah.
What experience have you had?
Oh,
You don't know what
that's
happened.
ignorance, like,
You didn't hear
regardless.
the evidence.
Yeah,
You didn't
exactly,
see it. You don't know what
exactly.
happened.
Because it's quick to point. I've been guilty of it too. Facebook, bro. Comment section, cuz it straight away. But
Yeah, I know. I've seen them. I
like
laugh all the time.
rapists, like with these rape allegations, I always think, all right, we have seen examples of bitter women who've thrown it lightly.
And
the
you have
allegation.
and
You know what I mean?
you've seen people that make false allegations, and you've
Exactly.
seen people
And
that are
I've
real
learned from that.
rapists.
I've gained an understanding.
Yes.
And now I'm not so quick to rush a judgment, you know, and go, fuck, he's that. So obviously now,
Yes,
as I mature,
I think that's very, very good.
Yeah,
and
of
what I'm
course.
saying is that if people have that attitude towards everything, the world would be a better place.
yeah.
You'd be
But
a
it's
much,
hard
much
not
better
to because,
place.
bro,
It is hard not
these
to,
are
and this is the
close
same way
people,
that people
yeah.
get racist and they get discriminate. They become
Because I'm naturally a racist, bro. Like, because I'm Turkish, like, I'm going to admit now, it's hard for me not to get racist.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But, like, when it comes to the end,
it's human.
yeah, it's human. Like,
It
of
is
course.
it is human.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I'm not racist.
But
Bro,
what you have, Inan, is the ability to reflect and understand and admit
Yes.
when you're wrong,
Thank you.
and when you should have been more understanding. You can reflect
Yeah,
when you've
right.
made the mistake. A lot of people
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah, that's true.
and it's subject to their conditioning, their environment, and that makes them really dangerous.
That's true.
It makes them very dangerous. It starts race
Yeah,
wars. It
especially in
starts
today's world,
wars
yeah,
against
today's
different
day.
religions.
Especially with
People with
today's-
different sexual preferences.
Yeah.
It's not to say that you have to endorse it and you have to promote it, but everybody should be able to speak.
Like, now my ignorance goes to whenever I see, like, for instance, a lot of footballers are copping rape allegation, like Jared Hainsey. All right, bring him an example. We don't have to go into it, but it's hard not to go into that position because my understanding would be Jared Hayne, he was probably one of the best NRL players at the time. He retired, he did his other shit. Because he would have been, pussy must have been flying at him. You know, just would have been punching him in the face, going left and right. And unfortunately, whatever's happened has happened. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, bro, with the amount of pussy that guy probably was getting, like, one girl to say that, bro, surely there's got to be an
we
instance.
need to watch the fight. It's 3:30.
Is it on now?
It should be on very soon.
It could be on.
And sorry guys, that was a bit of a technical glitch. We've just had a live decision of MMA related. Francis Ngannou has knocked out the current world champion, Stipe Miocic.
Former world champion now.
Former world champion, yeah. Unfortunately, it was very, 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 as I would like to say, a hectic knockout.
We saw that. That was a mean left hook.
Yeah,
man.
we were actually planning to watch this after the fights,
Oh
but
my
unfortunately
God.
we were too late. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting now. I mean, it just provides a matchup for John Jones versus Ngannou. I mean, if anyone knows who they are, they're pretty much... Well, Ngannou's a freak. I mean, you can see just by looking at the bloke. And John Jones, everyone knows, well, majority of people know John Jones is probably pound for pound one of the most...
Greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The greatest.
Like, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to find a few people who would disagree with me on that. It would be hard to anyways.
So do you guys think that, okay, it'll go Jones, Ngannou, and then say hypothetically Jones wins? Do you see him going heavyweight again and then going down?
Man, I don't see him winning. I don't see him winning.
You don't see Jones winning?
I don't see him winning against Ngannou.
I beg to differ, man. I reckon
Well,
Jones.
big harder.
I don't. I won't be. I won't rush to say that Jones wins in a particular style, but I don't see like bro. John Jones has just provided it. Bro, the guy was having benders and fighting like, and now he's just at his optimum best. I don't know. It's hard not to. It's hard to go against Jones, in my opinion.
In Ngannou's body, he doesn't look like a human being.
Yeah, he doesn't. But because we've all said that about Jones, for every opponent, oh yeah, you know this guy's gonna. The only person that came really close was DC, maybe.
Bet me.
Who?
Bet me. Bet me.
Or what?
I'm gonna say Ngannou.
Jones?
Yeah, bet me.
Yeah, all right,
When it comes, let's go.
Let's go. $100.
100,000.
Wow.
100,000 South African dollars.
That's my tactic. That's my tactic when I bluff people.
Nah, actually, I don't know. You know,
What will we have to
I'll
Ngannou.
decide that when it's.
Wait, Ngannou.
This fight hasn't even been announced yet. We're already trying to make
It's
it.
Ngannou.
What was his tweet?
I'll bet you that it's gonna happen. The fight's gonna happen. I'm betting you that.
Oh, I'm down. I'm up 4.
Huh?
The fight happening.
So you're saying it's
100
not?
grand. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
All right, let's go.
All right, you owe me 100 grand.
No, you owe me 100 grand. I said I'm 4.
Yeah. Okay,
Shut
yeah.
up. All right, boys. We'll wrap it up now. Guys, thank you very much for listening. Jason, thank you very much
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you
Joining.
for having me.
If you need any, all of this is free legal advice. So if there's any
None of
problems,
it is
speak to
legal
Jason.
advice, actually.
Disregard the disclaimer.
Nah, look, if you guys have any questions, maybe we might have Mr. Jason on board once again. So if you have any questions, put them down below. We'll also have Jason's details, or Jason Benjamin Pham.
Thank you.
He's perfect.
Music
name
to
there.
my ears.
We'll have all of his social details in our links somewhere down here below. Don't forget to guys to subscribe. We'll have Emin hopefully back maybe next week.
On a positive note, I mean, I don't think we spoke on why he's not here. He's
He got captured by the government.
I don't know. There's a bit of a congratulations to him. He just he's had a baby girl.
Yep.
His wife's just given birth.
Congratulations, Zemin.
And he should be on. He should be able to explain his trials of fatherhood.
Yeah, the first week or 2 week encounter, and we'll see how that's actually
that'll be
affected him.
exciting. Congratulations to him and his family. Yeah, like Fatih mentioned, JB Law. He's got some good videos,
JBP
good content
Law,
on
man, come
TikTok.
on.
Check him out. But yeah, thank you again for coming online. For coming on again with us.
Inan's trying really hard here, guys.
No,
Guys, thank you very much. Look, Inan, it's always a pleasure to have you in your nice suit. Can you wear the suit every week this week? Next time?
I'll think about it.
Thank you very much.
It's not a
Jason,
rule.
Thanks,
next
guys.
week we
Thank
expect
you.
you in your suit next time, man.
You'll never see me in this attire ever again.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks.